going on, everybody? Tim, the one and only Child of Mecha here, coming to you live from the one and only Gundam Kitchen here in beautiful Blackwood, New Jersey. Today with me, I got my partner in crime, Brax. Brax, introduce yourself, the one and only Gundamnerd.
Hey, what's happening? I'm Gundamnerd on social media, on Instagram, Gundamnerd. Stop by the page, check out cool photos and Gundam-related stuff.
Definitely. So, and what are we doing here today, Brax?
Today, we're going to go over a bunch of photography stuff. There you go. You got me trying to sound professional. Basically, we're running a photography class. We're going to be going over, all of the fundamentals of good photography and good lighting and basically everything you need to present your model in a way that you've seen it done and how how you see it. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
I would say this. All of the pictures that I drool of or that I drool over, I just want to know, how are they done? How do they go about doing it? How do they do this? And that's pretty much the info that we're going to be covering today.
Cool. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. So we're here, like I said, at the Gundam Kitchen, and honestly, we wouldn't be here if not for one special individual. His name's Irad. He's the owner of this place. Irad, come and say hi.
What's up, Twitch people? Good to see you guys. If you're in the area, drop by. If not, Gundam After Dark coming to you soon. The Gundam Kitchen After Dark. Look for it.
Definitely. Awesome. Gundam After Dark is going to be pretty entertaining. So keep an eye out for that. So we're going to get started here. Obviously, since we're live, I'm not behind the computer screen, so I can't interact with you today. But we're going to open it up for Q&A at the end of the class. So if you do have questions, save it till later. We'll try to get to some of the questions in the chat about photography and stuff. So with that being said, don't forget Child of Mecha store giveaway. We got a few more days on that. Hit up childofmecha.com. Enter. It's very, very easy. No purchase necessary. Or if you do want to purchase something, it gets you some more entries and stuff. But you can get this shirt, you can get that hat, you can get a ton of cool stuff on the Child of Mecha store. So we're going to get started here. We're going to start talking about photography. So why is photography so important to you?
Why is photography important to me? Okay, I'm going to tell you exactly why it's important to me. From the beginning of the kit, right? You handle a kit, you put it together, and you do all of this beautiful work to it. You paint it, you panel line it, you put fabricated pieces on it, you scratch build, you can do whatever. And the one thing in the back of your mind is you're saying, I want everybody to see this. So I get psyched on the fact that I can, get everybody to see it, but how am I going to present it to them? Okay, I can take a picture this way. Anybody can just snap it, but I want to present it to them. Like, I want to optimize my presentation. So in order to do that, I got to learn how to take a good picture. And just trying to learn how to take a good picture, you learn so much other stuff, from color to bounce to everything, from depth to everything. So that's why, I'm pretty psyched on a presentation. I paint kits so I can present them, and I just want to do it in the best way possible,
Cool. Presentation is everything, folks.
And then you got some people out there that do all of this awesome work, but really don't know how to present it. It's nothing wrong with not knowing how to present it, but that's why we're here today, to show you, just to give you some good keys on what not to leave out, when you want to present something.
Good call. For me, man, photography is crucial because if you build something beautiful, if you build something mind-blowing, most people are not going to see it in person. That's just a fact. So what you need to do is you need to take some cool pictures to translate your vision of what you created to everybody else online. That's where most people are going to see it. So if you can take some good photos of that and make them look like what your vision is, man, that's just going to translate and it's going to hit with people. It's going to be super impressive looking too. So people call them Instagram bangers. So we're going to show you how to do that a little bit later today. So stay tuned. We're going to get into some talk about some gear. We're going to show you how to do some lighting, posing. We're going to do post-processing as well, both on phone and on the laptop. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Brax is going to talk about posing because he's the man when it comes to that stuff. See what I'm saying? Heisman winner. Look at him. Look, he's get the rear delts. The rear delts. Yes. We're having fun here today. What the?
That's right. We get it.
It's always fun. It's always fun. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to start off with talking about gear. So what do you need to take a good photograph? You can take a photograph with a lot of different things. Most people nowadays have a smartphone, and just one of these little guys is almost like a camera studio in your pocket. And so that's an easy way to get started in photography. There's also point and shoots, which are really convenient, small scale cameras, and there's also the big boys, the big DSLRs. Now these are serious. These you get invested in these, and you're going to spend some money. You're going to spend money on lenses. You're going to spend money on filters and all that sort of stuff, battery packs, things like that, to make your pictures look better and to expand your kit. So we're going to talk about that stuff here. There's also accessories that you can get too: tripods, lights. Macro tubes are a big one for me. We're going to show you those a little bit later because we're going to take some really cool pictures with the macros, get in real super tight, and so you can see all that nice little crispy detail. So we're going to talk about that a little bit later in the class. So what's your favorite gear
that I like to use?
Yeah.
As far as my setup is real simple. I think one of my huge claims, to what I do is that everybody knows that my setup is the most simple setup that you can use. I use two lights, small little spotlights that you can get from any one of these little value stores, dollar stores, or whatever. They cost $5. The lenses cost more than the light itself. I'm sorry, not the lens, but the actual bulbs.
Right.
So you want to get the fluorescent bulbs. As soon as you get the fluorescent bulbs, you get the white bulbs, and then you diffuse that light. Just use a couple coffee filters on that, and next thing you know, you have two lights. If you have a top light, that'll work good, but usually those two lights to get you, just against your regular background, whether it be poster board, construction board. But that's my favorite setup. It's real simple, it's to the point, and you can set up and de-set up quick. Also, you can also change backgrounds and do whatever, but I'll tell them about that later.
Nice. See, and that's a quick and easy bare bones setup that anybody can use. And we actually have some of that here to show you today on how to set up a really inexpensive camera background to shoot your models and make them look really nice, because the background of a photo is important, because if you got a bunch of crap in the background, it's going to distract from your piece. So we're going to talk about that a little bit later too. For me, my setup, if you guys follow me on Instagram or Facebook or what have you, you'll see, my general setup. Excuse me, I got a gray background. I've got the black cutting mat underneath. For me, that's a good look. I like that look, especially for works in progress, because the cutting mat kind of establishes that intent, if you will, and for me, it works. I like it. I've got a dedicated kind of photo booth that I've built myself, but you don't even have to go that far. You can just use a wall or a box and some poster board and stuff like that, and that will work as well. So
what I say is this: I would say keep it open and not kind of put yourself in a box, not as much, because you can make an awesome box setup, but the more you get into posing, the more you find yourself interacting with your model. Your hands are going to have to get all over it, and trying to actually access certain parts when you're in a box is not easy. So you want those open sides. I did a video with the simple setup and just changing color background. Somebody else did one with the huge box in it. Okay, it's perfect. Both of them had awesome, had real good, what's that word I'm looking for? Yeah, there you go. It had good results, right? But you couldn't put a mega size in it. Sorry, I'm not saying I take pictures of mega sizes every day, but at some point it had limits, and even be able to try to get in back of your model. Believe me, once that model's in back of that camera, that's a whole nother slew of work that you got to do, So you want to be able to access that. So I'm more geared towards the open sides and not, not the box, because it's actually hard. And then when that baby knocks over, and then you're like, wow, okay. Everybody's been there. Everybody's knocked over models and everything. So
It's not
I would say keep it open. Just, just for future, just to avoid future problems. You want that range. You want to be able to have stuff sticking out and everything, So
Cool. All right, so let's first talk about lighting, because lighting is very important. Let's talk about lighting gear. Now, like what Brax said, you got what, like the arm lights and stuff?
yeah,
What do you got?
I use the regular little the little desk lamps.
Oh, like
right?
like what
Yeah, like
Irad's
the
got?
simple, right. Right, I use like a simple desk lamp like this, right?
Okay.
Really, really simple. Now, these things, really, really good, really good on the table. You can set them up, you can use them on anything, right? Okay, when I put the lens in there, when I put the bulb in there, I usually go with like a good fluorescent bulb, a white 75 watt bulb, right? Now, that's going to give you a really hard light. It's going to give you like a hard light, like, with a really hard shine. So you can soften it up by certain people like to take paper, but paper kind of knocks down like a lot of it. So what I do is I take 2 coffee filters, and then I take those coffee filters and then I just lay them across. You can actually adjust it. If it's still too bright through the coffee filter, you can always add another one. But it just helps in diffusing. So now it breaks up the light. Now you have one white soft light that's spread around the whole picture and not kind of hard spotting one part. You know what I mean? But these are the lights, $5, and this is what I use.
Nice. So diffusing light. For a second, for those of you that don't know, when you have a hard light, like a light bulb coming straight from this, if you don't diffuse that, if you don't put something in front of that, you will get what's called hard shadows. Shadows that are very, very well defined, that have a distinct edge. When you diffuse it, that softens that light. It makes it real nice and creamy. And those shadows will start to disappear and they will start to just fade, which are really, really nice. And that's essentially the look that you really want to shoot for, is that nice, creamy shadow that just kind of fades into nothing. So that's what Brax means when he says diffuse the light. So now for me, I have a dedicated photo booth that I have at home. I've got 3 different bar fluorescent lights, 1 on top and 2 on the sides, shooting directly into the model space that I have. Now, obviously, I went overboard. You don't have to do that. You can achieve the same sort of thing with some LED light panels, and those LED light panels are really, really useful. Let me show you what I mean here real quick. I've got a few. This little guy right here, I use this for work. I use this for shooting models and things like that. It has a nice diffusion lens. It just snaps right on. It also comes with a warm one too, an orange cast filter, so you get the kind of a warmer tone of light. But I don't necessarily prefer that look. I like a nice consistent daylight look. But this turns on, and as you can see, gets super, super bright. I won't keep that on here. I don't want to blind people. But this has an external battery. It also has nice AA's inside. So you can use both in this, and this lasts a seriously long time. Now, mind you, this is an older model. Newer models are so much thinner and so much smaller, but they produce the same amount of light. You can also get these nice big light panels too for really, really inexpensive. Amazon is a good place for light panels and things like that. Another thing that I really like to use is this little light bar here. Now, if you guys watch Gunpla Talk, you'll see the light from this, because this is what I use. And it's just a singular little light strip, and it's got plugs in. It's a USB connection, has a 1 single button operation, turns on, turns off, and it also has different levels of brightness. So I use this. I mount this right up above the camera when I'm filming Gunpla Talk with the guys, and this is super, super nice. So you can use something like this. This was $10 on Amazon, super inexpensive. So these lights are really, really nice to have.
Keep that away from your wife.
Why?
Because it's like one of those vanity mirrors that just shows everything. My girl would flip out if she had that right there.
Nah, this is actually
she'd be in front of the mirror all day, just applying makeup.
I know, right?
All
Right.
Cool stuff.
So no, but actually what these are, this is under cabinet lighting. So basically what you do is right up underneath your cabinet in your kitchen, you just mount that and it shines down. So what I did was I just took it and repurposed it. Just mounted it right above the camera setup for Gunpla Talk, and that's what I use.
How much did it cost?
$10. Amazon. Easy peasy.
I like it. You can hook it up to a USB.
Yeah, you can pick. It's USB connection, so if you have, it also comes with an outlet connector or adapter, I should say. And yeah, you can run this thing all day. It doesn't get hot because it's LEDs. Super nice, super nice. $10. So look for that on Amazon. There's a ton of them on there. It's not any specific brand, so you can search for those on there. But anything that you use, any lighting, you need to create an ample amount of light to shine onto your model, because that's essentially what photography is. It's the balance of light, right? So if you have not enough light, your pictures are going to come out dark. If you have too much, your pictures are going to come blown out, and it's all going to be white and no contrast. It's going to look terrible. So you need to balance that light in the happy medium. So that's why, you know, if you get adjustable lights like this, that's perfect, because then you can adapt it for the environment that you're shooting in.
See, a lot of people don't notice, but well, you're not going to see it. But even when I take my pictures, right? Like, I have to make sure that the fluorescent lights are diffused down, because I like to put my lights right up on my model. A lot of people like to probably try to take it from a distance, but the more brighter the model is, the sharper the picture is. I'm a fiend for sharp pictures. So if the light is too dim, then I'll know the light is too dim by the time I review the pictures, and I say, okay, that's a little bit too fuzzy. Let me move them in and move them in. When when you got them on camera and you're just looking through the square, you can't see that the lights are right here, you know? But that's why I really pay attention to what kind of lights I got in there. You don't want nothing too hard. You don't want nothing too soft, you know? So I kind of go right in the middle. I go with like a good 75, the all white ones. Go with a good 75. And then, like I said, I put enough filters on there, enough coffee filters just to diffuse it, enough to make it do what I want it to do. And I like really, really close lighting, you know? If somebody saw my stuff, they'd probably be like, wow, why does he have it that close? Number one, it doesn't show up in the frame of the picture, but it gives you exactly what you need, you know? And another thing is actually adjusting how they go. But I guess that's on another part, right? We're going to talk about that.
We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. Don't worry about it. Yeah. So lighting's very important, guys. We can't stress that enough. So get you some good lights. You know, they don't have to be mad expensive. I mean, if you look on places like B&H Photo, Adorama, places like that are for professionals, you will find massively expensive lights. But you don't need that, because we're just taking model photography. That's it. So you just need simple, straightforward, adjustable lights. LEDs are preferable nowadays because they don't get hot. You won't burn yourself if you happen to touch it or move it around or adjust, what have you. So go get some good lights. So what else do we have here? We got a bunch of stuff here on the table. We're going to kind of go through the gear, and we're going to talk about that here in a second. So let's talk about tripods, because tripods are super, super important. If you want to take a steady picture, especially if you don't have enough light, you need a good tripod that will steady your camera, so where you're not moving the camera, it will reduce what's called motion blur, because even if you have a steady hand, if you don't have enough light, that camera will not shoot a nice crispy picture. So some of the things that I like to use here recently, this is a little wonder right here. This is the Neewer. This is the M225 plus CK30. Mouthful, I know, right? But this is a tabletop tripod, and this little guy is so insanely solid. It's a solid steel, maybe aluminum construction. It's got a nice ball head on it here that you can adjust and basically point in any direction. It's also height adjustable this way, which is super, super nice. And then the legs also go into 3 different angles. So if you wanted something like this, where it's insanely steady. You can pop your camera right up like that, and you can shoot right on a tabletop. Very, very nice little accessory. The really cool thing is these legs actually extend out a good amount. Look at that. Look at the comparison. That's all compacted. That's fully extended. So yeah. So this is a great accessory. This was, I think, like $30 on Amazon. And it's just, I've been using this like crazy.
Like $30?
$30, dude. Yeah, and it's got a nice quick release plate here that you mount to the bottom of your camera. You can get like a little iPhone holder to mount here, or if you have a point and shoot or DSLR, they mount right to the 1/4 screw on the plate here, which is really nice.
All of the accessories that they make for these, they make available for phone cases and iPhones and everything else. You know?
Yeah, they got holders, the whole nine. If you got an iPad, they make iPad holders. Everything that you can think of that has a camera will have an adapter to go on this little guy. So really, really super nice. I really love that tripod. Now, if you want to get serious and maybe drop a little bit of coin, maybe if you want to do other types of photography outside of modeling, then you maybe want to invest in something more along these lines. This right here is a tripod that I use for normal photography. I also use it for modeling. Sometimes when I'm not shooting in my own kind of dedicated shooting space. But this is a really, really nice, this is carbon fiber. So it's actually super light. It's by Manfrotto. This is the 055 CX Pro 3. It's also got a trigger adjustable head that I bought separately. You can move that around in all sorts of different ways. It's got a nice little quick release plate as well with a standard 1/4 screw. And this thing, man, extends like crazy. It's got the latch lock legs, the whole nine. That thing will get the job done. So now, obviously, this is a lot more expensive than that little desktop guy. This, I think, was probably around $300 with the head and everything. But like I said, this is carbon fiber. This is virtually indestructible. I've taken this on.
Put a minigun on it.
I mean, basically.
Out of a Tomahawk helicopter. That's right. They just snatched it out and said, you know, we can use this for photography.
Yeah, right.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
But like I said, it's carbon fiber. It's virtually indestructible. I've put that in camera bags that I've taken on trips, work trips, and things like that. And there's not hardly a scratch on it. So that's if you really want to get serious. But the newer for $30 is awesome.
This is completely worth it, dude.
Yeah. Oh, I love this thing. This is like my new favorite accessory.
It feels durable.
Yeah.
You know, like you can pick up some products, and some products like might kind of feel like a little flimsy to you. You know, this thing is solid. Solid.
Yeah.
It's as solid as a Gundam wing kit.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But hey, yeah, it's for $35. I mean, I took a risk on it and just to see what it was, and I'm so glad I did, because I think I'm actually buy another one, maybe for lights and stuff like that, because you can adjust the crap out of this thing. It's awesome. So.
This is pretty cool.
It is. It's awesome. All right. So what's next on the table here? Okay, cool. We're gonna talk about my hidden little secret, my gem. These little guys here. So these are called macro tubes, and what these are, they're just basically hollow tubes that mount to the camera. They're completely hollow inside. They have no glass, nothing in there. It's just a tube. It's got sensors for autofocusing and everything. But what these do, the beauty of these things, is if you can't afford a really nice macro lens, like I can't afford that, these are a solid option. This whole set was about $20 on Amazon and worth its weight in gold. So basically what this does, you put this between the camera body and your lens for a DSLR, and what it'll do is it will allow you to get the camera closer to the subject to shoot really, really tight up. If you guys have seen pictures of the Ozymandias on my website, Facebook, all that, you know what I'm talking about. Basically this. Yeah. That's super close up. This is not cropped in any way. This is straight out of the camera, full resolution. This is these little things are super amazing. So, yes, yeah, there you go.
My good Paulie, tell me, talk.
There you go.
Brother.
There you go.
We're good.
Our cameraman Paulie behind the screen. Cool. Well, thank you, Brax. Thank you for showing that. But that's what you get with these little guys. These are $20, like I said, on Amazon. You can stack these all three and get like inside your subject, or you can use the 13, 21, or 31 ring.
I have a
super
question.
nice. Yes, sir.
You said they have no lenses.
No, not in here.
So exactly what does the space do?
Good question. Good question. So, like I said, what happens is you mount these between the camera body and the actual lens, and what happens is it moves the focal length of the camera, the focusing point, I should say, closer to the subject. Most lenses will have a maximum. Or I should say a minimum distance to subject. And most of them are probably maybe a foot or so.
Right.
For model photography, you really want to get in there. You want to get in and see all those nice crispy details. Right. So this allows you to get super, super close. Like with the Ozymandias, some of those pictures, I was literally about half an inch away from it with these little guys. And man,
that's a macro. Yeah, that's a macro.
Yeah.
They make little lenses like that for the phones too. Yeah. But not as, don't get me wrong, is no comparison to the DSLR, but they actually make those. And you can actually get macro lenses and the fisheye lenses and your wide angle lenses all at places like Five Below and places like that, you know?
Yeah. You can get those accessories. I actually got some. They're okay. You can mount them. I think they vary in quality, so it is kind of hit and miss. So take that with a grain of salt. But camera, these little macro tubes, like I said, $20 on Amazon, worth its weight in gold. I would buy these again every single day. Great accessory to have. Let's talk about cameras themselves. Like I said, what kind of camera you use? You just use your phone, right?
I shoot with my phone.
What kind of phone you got?
An iPhone.
An iPhone.
A little iPhone 6S.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Cool. I've got an iPhone, this is an SE, basically a 5, right? An older model, granted, right? But for all of the whip pictures that you guys have seen, that's where it's coming from. It's coming from this phone. Phones nowadays, especially the iPhones, have amazing cameras inside, and you can download apps and things like that to fine-tune and control the settings inside of the phone really, really easily. But we'll talk about that here in just a little bit too. Let's talk about some point and shoots. Now, here, let me get right back here. Now, point and shoots are kind of the perfect mix between convenience and quality. I've got this little guy here, this little Sony that I bought. I bought this a couple years ago when I went to Japan, and because I didn't want to take the big DSLR with me. That was just too much gear to take, too much to lug around. But this little guy right here takes amazing pictures. It's got a little pop-up screen so you can kind of do, you know, little selfies and stuff. And this actually also records video. Really, really nice video, I might add, too. So one of these little guys, if you're not into laying down money for a DSLR, but you do want to upgrade from, say, your phone, one of these nice little point and shoots are super, super affordable. I think this was around $400 or so on Amazon. They have more or less expensive models, but this point and shoot is definitely the way to go if you don't want to lay down a ton of cash. This actually features a like super heavy duty telephoto lens. I'll show you here in a second. So this goes from 24 millimeter, which is the beginning focal length, which is a wide angle, all the way to 720 millimeter zoom. And that's physical zoom. That's not optical zoom. So the quality is just absolutely amazing. Look at this. Look at this. Now, you guys obviously can't see this at home.
Yet, though.
Yeah. Oh, see, look at that. See what I'm focusing on? Mm-hmm. Look at that little dude. That's about what? 15, 20 feet away, and you can see crystal clear. And we're focusing on a model that's behind the camera, obviously,
and it's less than 4 inches tall.
Yeah, a few inches tall. Yeah. See, look. Let's see. What do we got here? Switch it back to photography mode, and we'll shoot a picture of it here. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Hunt around.
Oh, you gotta find it. It's so small.
Yeah, it is super small. Shoot.
There it is.
Oh. There it is. There it is.
That even gave you better.
Yeah, right. So there it is. Look at that. That's a nice zoom, right?
It's not bad for.
That's not bad
for a point and shoot.
That's not bad for a point and shoot. You're damn right. So I'm gonna show the audience here real quick. See, guys, look at this. Nice little zoom. It's back there on the counter back there.
Yeah. Nice.
See that, Meanie?
Yeah, looks pretty good.
Yeah. So. I'll show you guys later when we get into post-processing what this looks like. Trying to show it to you on camera, that's just not going to work. But excellent little camera. You can get other models on here. I just happened to choose this one because the reviews were really, really good. The specs were awesome. And like I said, it has this nice little pop-up LCD screen that is very, very handy.
Do you even deal in megapixels anymore? Or is it that?
Yeah, this is, I think this was, it was right here. 18 megapixels out of this little guy. So if you look at the pictures from the Petite New Bear guy or the Gundam version Logic, they were shot with this camera.
Oh, I thought you used your DSLR for that one.
Nah. For those two,
those are pretty sharp.
Out of this, yeah. And you can blow those images up to those big prints that Brax showed earlier, and still keep it super, super clear. So little point and shoots. An awesome medium between phone and DSLR. Super happy with this little guy. And the form factor you can't beat too, because compared to DSLRs, look at that. That's the case for it. I've got 2 batteries and 2 additional memory cards in this thing, and it basically would fit in your pocket. Super convenient, guys.
You see this?
Yeah, super convenient.
It fit in my pocket?
Yeah, basically.
Oh, yeah?
Don't try to take it now.
What's that over there?
Don't try to take it from me. Come on now.
There we go. Let's get there.
All right, so now we're going to move on to the big boys, the serious cameras, the DSLRs, or digital single lens reflex camera.
You got this, baby.
Yeah.
I'm taking a class at this one.
So, all right, so I'm gonna fly solo on this one here, guys, because this is my love here. Now, this is an older 5D Mark II. This is a Cadillac of photography equipment. It's old, yes, and I got it, I think, around 2011, 2012, probably about a month before the Mark III came out. I was a little bummed with that, but I still love this guy. Now, what makes this such a great camera is that, number one, it's 24 megapixels, so there's a big, huge image that you can get from this. The thing that made this camera famous is its movie and video capabilities. For those of you that have ever seen the movie Act of Valor, a lot of that movie was shot with one of these, or I should say multiple of these. This is a, obviously it's a Canon. It's got a ton of controls, more than you probably ever need. What I did to outfit this thing is I put a little vertical grip on here so I can turn it and take portraits really super nice and easy. It's got the trigger on here. It's got the auto focus function on the back, the whole 9. This thing takes SD cards, and the vertical grip allows me to have 2 extra batteries in here. So this will last a ton, pretty much all day if you're shooting, efficiently. It's got the nice LCD screen on back for managing your settings and viewing live mode, and you can swap out lenses with this thing. Right now I've got a 50 millimeter. This is, I think, the 1.8 f-stop on here. Super nice lens if you're into it. And pretty affordable at $350. So it's a nice little 50 millimeter lens. But you can stack on tons of different lenses. You can stack on the L lenses, the nice red stripes and things like that. You can stack on the gold stripes. You can put on a ton of different options with this thing. But what this does is it gives you an absolute ton of control in your pictures. You can shoot manual, you can shoot aperture priority, shutter priority, you can shoot full auto if you wanted to, if you're so inclined, but if you're shooting full audio or full auto, this might be a waste. So this is for the big boys. This is for when you really, really want to get into photography. A nice DSLR. Now there are much less expensive versions than this. The camera that we're shooting on right now is a Rebel T7i, and that actually I kind of am starting to prefer over my 5D.
Why?
Well, it's a good question. The flip out LCD screen is actually a touch screen on the 7, and it has autofocus when shooting video, which I really love. This is full manual focus on video, which is I think my only drawback. I do love the full frame look of pictures on this, and we'll talk about that, full frame versus crop frame a little bit later when we get into camera specifics. But I do love the full frame look. You can't beat that.
And it's one more thing I gotta ask. I'm not sure if this is in a post-processing part, but the difference between, because I know what I shoot, right? And then you go with those and you get a ton more pictures. You get the raw version, you get this version. How many different versions do you get, and how important are they?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. You can shoot full raw, which gives you a ton of leverage in post-processing.
That's a huge file, though. Right?
It's a big file, yeah.
Okay.
26 megs per raw file coming out of this camera, which is not a small file, compared to your standard JPEG that you're getting out of a phone or a point and shoot.
4.5 megabytes or something like that.
Yeah.
If that, like maybe a 3.2, something like that.
Yeah. And RAWs aren't something that you can just take to the print shop and say, hey, print this. RAWs are something that you have to process on your side and convert them to a printable file, JPEG, TIFF, PNG if you're so inclined. Different files that you can take to a print shop or send off to a printer. But yeah, you can get full RAW files. You can get RAW and JPEG files at the same time if you wanted to. You can shoot just JPEGs. So yeah, you have options in this thing.
Now, question: the RAW files, is a RAW file similar to like a? Okay, so you got the JPEGs, right? That come in a certain size, and when you blow them up, they kind of lose the resolution. Does that same thing happen with the RAW files?
Yes. Good question. Good question. So for photos are what are called raster files, meaning that they are comprised of pixels, little square dots of different colors. And when you put all those dots together, they form your image. If you zoom in like really, really far into an image, you'll see those pixels and how they're comprised.
Have to rasterize the layer.
Well, they're already raster, but to blow up an image, you do run into some limitations. So what you're thinking of is a vector file, which is comprised of math. You can blow that up however big you want, right. But you're talking apples and oranges. So a raster file, which is an image, you can blow up somewhat and get away with it before blur and pixelation come into play, but you can only do it so much. So.
Okay.
Yep.
I got you.
So, DSLR guys, for the serious shooters out there. There are some, like I said, affordable models out there. Get those if you're into.
Shooter. I just happen to use my phone.
There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
All right.
Nothing wrong at all. All right. So we talked about phones. Let's see what else here is on the list. We talked about tripods, lenses, macros, cameras. We're gonna get into basics, phone basics. What's up? We got a question.
The app called Snapseed.
Snapseed. Yes, we will be talking about Snapseed.
I guide you through that. I'm gonna moonwalk you right through that whole process.
For those of you at home, Snapseed is a post-processing app that's free of charge. You can get it on iPhone. You can get it on Android. It's created by Google, and it is very, very close to almost Photoshop standards on a mobile device. So we'll show you that in the post-processing part of the class. But for right now, let's get into phone basics. Now, you're the phone guy. You're the guy that likes to shoot on phones. So I'm going to hand this over to you.
I got it. I got a DSLR. So, all right, yeah. So I make the best out of the phone.
There you go. You got that. I'm gonna give you the stage here. So without any further ado, Brax.
Okay. Hey, people. How you doing out there in YouTube land? It's me, old Brax, and give you the fundamentals on shooting with a phone. Right? So basically the phone is the same thing. You don't get all of the, you don't get a lot of like the funky stuff that you get on the DSLRs, but you do get damn near the same thing, just on a smaller scale. You can control aperture, you can control your depth, you control everything from your phone that you can do with one of these. And and I'll be happy to walk you through them. Now we're going to do this. Should I explain the whole Snapseed thing, or we're going to hold that?
We'll do that later.
And wait that.
Yeah. How do you set up a picture with your phone?
Well,
what do you do?
Set up a picture. Well, I've already explained the photo setup and everything else. Well, snapping a picture with a phone is damn near similar to using one of these little
shoots.
Yeah, these little point and shoots. It's almost the same thing, except on a phone you just control everything on your screen, and that's a difference. What I say is, we should have just lined up a bunch of pictures, and then say, could you guess which one of these was shot with a phone, which one of these was shot with a DSLR, which one was shot with a point and shoot? Because honestly, if your picture is set up the right way, you won't be able to tell. This is what I think. Now, certain shots, don't get me wrong, you can definitely see where the DSLR kicks in. As far as those depth of field shots, you know what I'm talking about? Those not the perspective shots, but the ones that are layered. And you can see the aperture in the background and stuff like that. That comes natural with one of these DSLRs, but it doesn't come natural with one of these, which means that your photo got to be set up right. It has to be layered correctly if you want to get results like that. But other than that, just pull it out and shoot. It's not nothing crazy hard about it. It's the processing behind it. That's the more important. Now, for me to just pull out my phone and snap it, that's one thing. And then I'll get into what I make sure I do while I shoot my pictures, as far as cropping and everything else. But I guess that's for the after processing part. But as far as setup goes, it's more just like a point and shoot camera. It's nothing really crazy about it. But like I said, if your setup is right, you won't be able to tell what you shoot with. And you got a Zoid.
Yeah.
All right.
We're doing a backdrop here.
Oh, I was about to say, shit, he brought out a Zoid. Yo, buddy. I was about to say,
I'm helping
this
you.
is crazy.
So we're going to set up a little backdrop here real quick.
All right.
So see, as you can.
I got you.
You got it? Okay, cool. Rock with it.
I'm going to show y'all just how easy the setup is. Look at this. There we go. Background set.
All right. Now, and what we're going to be shooting here today is the Blue Destiny. You can get this shirt on childofmecha.com if you're so inclined. It's got the exam on the arm, just like it does on the shoulder. So get you one.
Lenses. Ease.
You want to use this for lights?
Huh?
Do you have a tripod for your light?
You don't want to use these?
Well, I mean, we're not going to plug. These are battery operated, so you can just...
Oh, so it's almost similar. You ever got two of them? It's the same thing. Not bad. Uh-oh. Tim's like, Brax, don't start posing my models. Don't start pulling stuff out and stretching and doing it. But that's...
So here, let's show them here real quick. Come on over here. All right,
I'm
so
gonna
guys,
use that one
real
too.
quick. Like I said, we're gonna use this little LED light panel in addition to the newer little tripod here. We're gonna take it off, and like I said earlier, this has a nice little 1/4-20 standard screw on it. This has a 1/4-20 socket on it. We're gonna plug this in. And we're gonna take some photos. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Get out of my pocket.
Yeah.
Hey, man, hey.
All right, buddy.
Killing me right now. Come on now. All right, so we're gonna mount this up. Brax is gonna take some photos and kind of show you his setup here real quick. So let's get this going. Yeah, here you go. You got the lights. I will narrate here for the people at home.
All right.
All right, so you got two lights set up here, right?
Yep.
All right.
Now,
You want my phone?
no, I was looking for, give me one second. Is this?
What are we looking for?
Actually, you know what? I have.
All right. So camera setup, obviously, and display setup can be involved, so to speak. So what we got here? Oh, look at this. Okay, so we're bringing in props now into the photo. So we got a nice black backdrop. Got some couple lights here. An amazing model, I might add. Oh, he's gonna set it on top.
Yes.
Oh, look at this. He's creating a scene here, folks. This is awesome. This will look like a really good picture here.
There you go.
You got it?
Yes.
How's that look?
Right.
Looking good?
It looked pretty good. Let's bring the light in from the other side.
All right.
See, this is why diffusers are there, so
Yeah.
you don't get hard patches like that in the back.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So as you guys can see, Brax, like I said, he likes his lights super close. Yeah. You can zoom in. Right on the lens. Yep. Should be the bottom one. Yeah, that's the one. Wow, look at that.
After posing, adjustment posing. Ooh, that's the whole another hour's worth of work. But I'm doing a quick version right now. You can't really see it now. See.
So
I'll let you pose it.
Does that look good to you? Oh, I like it like that. That looks good.
See,
It's got that nice, strong, kind of staticky pose. I personally like that look.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely pull that back just a tiny bit.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Go.
Kick the shoulders back.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Like that.
We're going to talk about posing here in a few minutes, so too, guys.
Ah,
Look good to you?
damn right, that look good to me.
All right.
And I can kind of picture because I look at this part of the background too.
Yeah.
And if the light is too hard back here, it's going to show. So you want the light to kind of be even, you know? I don't know. I'm huge on shadows and stuff like that.
That looks good.
Can you see that? How's that look?
What do you guys think?
Paulie? Did you zoom in on it?
Yep, where's it?
Looking good? Yeah?
Zoom
Cool.
in. and go in on that, baby. You got
All right.
a pro camera. The camera is super tough.
Let's see if we can get in.
Probably sharpen it.
Let's see what we got here. All right, so guys, looking at it right here, it looks a little bright right now on stream, but when we take a photo of it, those lights and everything, they're going to calm down because the sensor is going to grab that light, balance it out completely, and it's going to look super, super nice. All right.
Yeah, I wish they could see the post-processing as it was happening.
Yeah, we'll show them in here in a little bit. We'll show you guys in a little bit what that looks like. We're going to post-process with Snapseed. We're going to post-process. I'm going to show you how to post-process in Lightroom, maybe a little Photoshop, but those are a little bit higher dollar value applications. So, where'd he go?
Right back here. Okay.
Are you getting your phone?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so here's the fun part. Most of the setup takes the longest. Shooting actual photos doesn't take very long at all.
Not at all. Not at all. So when I do start posing for for the photos and for the cameras and stuff like that and for the pictures, if you take if it takes days for you to build up a model, don't take 10 seconds to just snap a picture of your kit. Take as much time as you need to pose that baby. Now, something that I want to explain to you is how it looks in a camera is completely different from how it looks when it's standing there. Because you're going to want certain things to project. You're going to want certain things to show. And you're going to realize that that doesn't always come with how you pose it. So sometimes you got to make slight adjustments, even just for the camera. Let me fix this right here. So, not sure what I can see on that, but I'm gonna show you exactly what I do now. I have a rule when I take pictures of Gundams, right? I posted a picture today, probably one of the first pictures I posted in a long time, that where I didn't do scale photography on it. And I actually put the big mega-sized Gundam up against a brick wall. I usually never do that because these are huge 6-7 story machines. And if you're going to be shooting Gundam or anything that is, I would say, big like that, try to keep it in scale and try to have stuff to show exactly how big it is. Another big thing is angle and how you shoot it, right? Now, just like I said, these are huge 6-7 story machines, right? But when you shoot it from right here, it looks like it's your height. If you shoot it from up top, it seems like it's short. That's why a lot of my shots are taken from the bottom. I want to show just how big and monstrous these machines are supposed to look, you know? You're never going to be looking down at a Gundam unless you're in space in a spaceship. So you're always going to be looking up, you know? This is why I always shoot going up, you know? It just makes the big robot look like a big robot and not just an action figure, you know, robot. So, like I said, the bottom angles usually work it. Anything I would say like below the waist and down are really good. Anything above the waist and up, it's going to, I mean, you know, you can get good profile shots, but it's not going to show you how big it's projected to be, you know, or if that makes any sense. So, how do I say this? So here we go. Snap shoot time. This is set up right. The lighting is set up right. I see my posing is set up right. Small gaps. I can tell when my negative space, but we're going to get into all of that once I do it, and I'll show you exactly what it's going to take, right? Cropping and the whole nine, and when you see, you're going to be like, oh, snap. Let me make sure I'm good, and then I'll snap one flick. There we go. I wish I could show it to you on camera because y'all be bugging out like, yo, dude, this is actually awesome.
You can show it to me.
Huh?
Oh,
I knew that. I always mess up like this.
always planned.
Always plan. And just from that alone, can you see that?
Yep, hold it steady right there. There you go. Look at that.
Just from the light alone, right? And this is from screen through camera through another screen. You know what I'm saying? And then I ended up with that. Can you see it?
Yep.
All right, can we get this on a big screen? Nah. How did we get it on a big screen last time?
Back there with the Chromecast.
Yeah, we'll get it later.
All right, it was a Chromecast.
Got a question.
I'm listening.
Can you put this up there? What would it look like up there with lighting?
What would it look up there with the lighting?
Yeah. How'd that look?
You want some free pictures?
No.
This is Marquise, y'all. This is Marquise's model. He wants to see how it would look up there if the lighting was to my liking. And from this little baby right here. Of course, he gives me a piece with articulation. It's like, eh. Yes, you did, Marquise. You see that? How do you like that? What do you think? Hey, is that what you wanted? Hey.
Nah, I was going for Pacific Rim opening for Gypsy Danger.
This is Gundam, buddy.
Yeah, I know.
Keep Pacific Rim. You keep Pacific Rim on the Pacifics. It's like, no, I love you. Let's get back to it. Yes. Now, another thing that's really good that you need to know about photos is that certain suits look good when they're standing. Other suits look good when they're in the air. You got to be able to establish that. Sometimes you can go, man, like what can I say, like spacesuits. If it's a suit that's like more designed for space and all that, you're not going to see it on the ground. You're not going to see it run. Like say Doms don't run. Doms just float, you know? They just like over here, they're over there with it. You know, so you don't want to make it seem like it's running or something like that. Is that what I'm going to say? I don't know. Where am I getting at now, Tim? What's next? Where am I doing?
What angles do you like to shoot at? Do you like to shoot straight on? Do you like to shoot?
Oh, it's the up angles. I always love the up angles. The up angles, you can put stuff in the background, and they just always look good. Like I said, if you shoot from the flat angle, it's going to make it seem like it's your height. And to me, I can't really get what I want out of the picture if I think that the Gundam is my height. I have to do something to make it look like it's colossal. It has to be huge. And usually those bottom shots usually do that, you know? Or if you have a top shot with something that's scaled like this under it, just to show you just how small everything else is compared to the actual, compared to how big the kit is, the model is supposed to be.
Can you show them how you shoot an upshot?
How I shoot an upshot. Okay. All right. Now, what I mean by upshots is this. If you shoot it like this, can you even see that on camera?
Yeah, let's get zoomed in. There we go. All right, I got you.
Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is this light, I'm getting like a little dark spot up here to where I shouldn't get it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick this light up a little bit. Maybe not. I just noticed I was getting a dark spot on it. Okay, so you can see that. That's your regular static shot. You know, that's where you would usually shoot a shot if you just say you just put it together and you just want to stand it there. That kind of Verka box shot. I love that shot. Can you see it though?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay. Where I usually like to shoot from is I like to shoot from like a ground level. Like I'm standing there and I'm realistically looking up at the model kit itself. So I like my shots to be, hold up, wait a minute, sorry about that. Let me fix this. I was wondering why mine was a little bit off.
Now you got your phone upside down to get that shot, right?
Yes, yep.
So tell them why you did that.
Well, the reason I do it upside down is because if I put it right here, I mean, sometimes I like shooting, it's just more comfortable, you know, it's all on preference. But sometimes I like my camera to be lower than, like, it'll only get me right here if I'm going right here.
Especially if the model's not raised up like it is.
Right. Yeah, like right now it's raised, so I didn't have to flip it, but I'm more comfortable shooting it like this, you know? And then another thing is, here, I'll show you this. Let's take out this background. I'll show you how much easier it is just shooting on the ground. But sometimes on the ground it can be something that might not be that easy. All right, give it a little angle. And start from, let me see, do I got a little something I can stand it on? Or whatever. Can you see that right there?
Yeah, we got you.
You see that angle right there?
Yep.
A little bit taller. I love that angle. That's my favorite. That right there will just show you everything, and you could see it. If you pull it in right, it's not many areas to crop off. I don't know if you could see that, but to me, that picture is perfect. All of the sides are even, the bottom is even, the top is even, and its focal point is the middle. If I want to focus on the bottom, then, like I said, this is the fun part about shooting. This is the easy part about shooting with a phone, is you can put the focus anywhere you want it to be. And you can also adjust the lighting how you want it to be on top of good lighting already, So that's my favorite angle. I love shooting them from down there. Actually, I'm going to post this picture. I'm going to shoot it, and I'm going to post it later. But I need it to be a little bit taller. Let me see. Here we go. I like to sit my phone on stuff. You the best. There we go. It seems like an awkward setup, but it works. And the back, come on. You see this? That's because I'm doing it on camera. That's why it's acting a little weird with me.
But by putting it on something, he's able to stabilize it too.
Oh, I forgot. You can adjust these. These are awesome.
You like it?
Hell yeah. I never get a chance. I'm always moving around these big lights and everything.
Bro, you've been missing out on life, man.
Yes, I have. Thank you for upgrading me. Can I upgrade you? Damn. That's dead on. That is right on point.
There you go.
And you see that?
Oh,
that right there?
Yeah.
Hold that right there?
Go show the camera.
Hold on, let me wipe my face.
Yeah.
Yeah, you show the camera. Got tissues over there?
Right by the register, we got right side too. And the register here.
Oh. Thanks.
Good question. So HDR.
Okay. I don't really shoot with HDR.
Okay.
Because it kind of gives you that, you ever touch the structure button on Instagram when you put your pictures on, and then it kind of hardens off everything. It adds a lot of different stuff to it. That's not always what I want. So I take the HDR off and I just shoot a regular picture. Okay. The lighting and what I do to it afterwards is cool, but I'm not really into that whole high def effect.
Right.
To me, sometimes I think that's just a little bit too much. That's not exactly what I look for. This right here is perfect. And I even do, this is zero after anything.
Shot.
All day. So yes, it's definitely the money shot, baby. It's definitely the money shot.
Do that again for the folks at home.
That's the shot, baby. That's what you want.
Oh man!
All right.
The fun times we have at the Gundam Kitchen, everybody. Come on down to beautiful Blackwood, New Jersey, if you're in the area.
And he said Blackwood.
You will have so
much
much fun.
Yep. So that's what it is. Later, when we get into the posing and stuff, then we'll start to, then I'll break down exactly what's good for posing and how to pose right and how to not to, because you do, like I said, we do, masterpieces. And the last thing you want to do is just stand it there like this, Yeah. Even if like this, I see so many masterpieces just standing there like this. best paint job in the world. Insane. And next to it is a picture of food. You know what I mean? It's always a perfect picture of food. But yeah, it always works out perfect like that. But when you see the pictures are just like, okay, they're doing nothing.
Yeah.
What I did was how I started to get this and how I started to fall in love with this little pose right there is I just started to look at all of the Verka boxes because that's the simplest, that's like some of the simplest artwork you can get that just shows the suit, nothing else.
That classic pose.
Exactly, yep,
Yeah.
that classic pose, and that's exactly what it is. That's what I look for.
So real quick, just to summarize, guys, this right here, bare bones, super inexpensive setup that we got here. Outside of the lights, of course, but you can use house lights if you wanted to. A 99-cent piece of poster board from Target, a $1 roll of Scotch tape,
and two $5 lights.
Yeah, two $5 lights,
and two $5 bulbs. So you're talking about 20, at least probably about $25 altogether just for a light setup without the box. Not a light box setup, but a light setup.
Yep.
You know.
We're going to talk about props here in a little bit because I went on a little bit of shopping spree at my local Target last night. I spent $25 and I got this backdrop, a couple other backdrops, and some other kind of props to use with photography that are going to be awesome. So for $25, if you're creative, gets you a lot of cool stuff for your photos. So awesome job on this. Instagram banger, guys.
Already, and I didn't have to process anything. You understand, man? Like, let me tell you, you can have as many filters. You can shoot with whatever you want. It depends on your setup. Your setup is the number one thing about a picture. How it's set up, how much light it's getting, and then you can snap and do whatever you want with it. But if the setup is there, it doesn't matter what kind of camera you have, you're going to end up with a good picture. You know what I mean? And lighting is everything.
Yep.
Fuzzy, if you got fuzzy parts on your picture, it's because it's not getting enough light. You know, even when the light is perfect and it adjusts itself, even dark parts are sharp. And you know what I mean? But if the lighting ain't right, you'll know because you'll have a little bit of fuzz where everything else is sharp. You know? And it's, you know.
Yep. Good call. Good call. And as you can see, this took all of what, maybe 15, 20 minutes to set up and shoot?
Yeah, 15, 20 to set up, but that's just the initial setup.
Yeah.
Once it's up, you just leave it there. Okay, click the lights off. Okay, we're done. Come back tomorrow. See you later. Done, bun. I'll see you, you know? And that's it. You come back the next day. One of the reasons, how I came up with this is not everybody has space. Nobody has space even for a spray booth or a spray tube or something like that, right? Not everybody has it. So me, when I first started shooting pictures, I would literally set this up every single day. What I was saying about that, Irad? Yeah, I just go, and when it's picture time, I would just go pull out my 2 lights, pull out my construction paper, boom, take the pictures and then put it all back. This is why when you go to my page, you only see one photo at a time of one suit. You never really see like multiples. You always see just like one picture.
But they're all awesome though.
That's because the only thing I want to do, like, as soon as I shoot that one picture, I'm going. I don't need much. Like, you get, like, if you could shoot, all right, if you could make the picture come out, just like you were saying earlier, the way you see it. You know, we all have projections. When you buy a kit and you have this kit in your hand, right?
Whoa.
And you're saying, this is Kensuke's. Woo, woo, at Kensuke, that's my homeboy, but he just, this is awesome. I'm sorry. But when you got the kit in your hand, right? And you just holding a box in your hand and you say, okay, I know this is going to be a cool kit. Some people only look at the kit. People like me, people like Tim, and people like Ken and everybody else, when we pick up this, we see what we can do with it, you know, and that's where I am. The photo is the final step. That's the last step in your presentation. You do all of this work and you want to make sure you get it out there, but you want to be satisfied with it as much as everybody else, you know? So my hunger for just wanting to satisfy myself made it, and everybody else gets satisfied in the meanwhile. Y'all went by default. I'm doing this for me. You know, so y'all went by default. Y'all just happen to see good pictures. Meanwhile, on the other side, I'm like, I didn't do it right. I didn't get it right. I throw away more pictures than I actually post, you know, because all of them don't make the cut, you know. But like I said, if you can look at it and you can see it, Like, I know what this is going to look like by the time I get done with it. That helps. And then pictures, are the exact same way, And, where we at?
Don't drop it.
Oh, I ain't dropping that one. It's gonna drop right in my pocket, right in my bag, and go home with me.
Nice.
So yeah, that's
Guys,
it.
all the pictures that we take here today, we'll throw up on our social media channels and stuff like that. So where they can find you on Instagram?
On Gundamnerd at Instagram, it's pretty much the only one that I really pay attention to. Everything else I ain't get around to yet.
Yeah.
But Gundamnerd on Instagram, and that's about it.
You know where to find me. Links are in the stream. Should be down at the bottom as they're rolling through. So there's all that good stuff. We're gonna post all these pictures. Like I said, there's gonna be a bunch of them.
Let me get another setup.
Later we're gonna have. Walk over to the mic.
Oh, sorry about that. I was going to get the other setups.
It's all good. Well, that's your phone, though. There we go. All right, so now you guys can hear me. We're going to post all these pictures later, like I said, and we're going to take hopefully a bunch more pictures later this evening at the potluck build meet directly after this like you saw just a few seconds ago, we got an amazing Sazabi here with some awesome photo etch pieces on it. Can't wait to photograph that. We've got the Blue Destiny here. We got my other Bear guys and Gundam version Logic here in the house. We're going to try to maybe get some more pictures of that as well. So,
but Team 10 beat us to the punch. Ken beat us to the punch though.
Why?
Because if you go on his page and you see pictures, he already has the setup. And
all right.
You can see how much his pictures improved just from you having a setup. I remember Kim was on the phone. He's like, Brax, I'm at Walmart right now. I got this in my hand. I got this in my hand. What should I take? And I'm like, okay, keep the light. Grab the poster. The next day, he had perfect setups. I was like, wow.
See, so it doesn't take a lot.
Saw the difference, right?
Yeah.
Same day. So hopefully I could take some better pictures than he took of his kit today.
And one with the gun to the side.
Yeah, I was about right. That was textbook right there. That was good.
All right, so guys, we've talked about how to take pictures on your phone. Let's talk about how to take pictures with a little point and shoot, and then we're going to move into the big boy, the DSLR. That's going to be my forte, so I'm going to show you how to do that all up. So we've got the setup here. We're going to keep this setup virtually the same. I like kind of, your static version kind of, strong looking, shoulder back kind of pose, maybe a tilted torso just a little bit, arms kind of, kind of flex. Yeah, kind of flexing a little bit. I really like that aesthetic. When I show off one of my models, I don't really need a dynamic pose, even though it would look killer. It's just not my style. Some people say I lack posing skill. I just don't like that look. So let's show you how to do this. Where'd the point and shoot? Hand me that if you would, sir. Look at that. He's so nice. Thank you, brother. All right, so got your little point and shoot here. We're gonna flip this bad boy on. Always use your little grip, because these little suckers are slippery and will pop right out of your hand, and the last thing you want to do is drop a $400 piece of gear. So flip it on. There's the lens. As you can see, got the nice LCD in the back. Let's get some lights on the subject here.
I'll give this one a little bit different light. This one from the bottom.
Cool. Whoa!
Open.
That was me.
For a second, I thought that was a Blue Destiny.
No, don't say that. Have a heart attack in here. Don't do that.
All right, so what we're going to do, I like certain different angles in my photos. If you've seen the photos on Instagram and Facebook and even on my website, there are certain angles that I like to shoot at almost on a constant basis. One of my favorite angles is kind of a 3/4 down shot of kind of the chest and head area. If you guys have seen the Ozymandias shot like that, it's so beautiful. I'm not to toot my own horn, but I love that shot. It just came out so super nice, and I was so happy with it. And it was by accident too. I was just shooting around trying to find different angles, and I pinpointed that angle, and it just popped. It was awesome. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to do that here with this little point and shoot. Hopefully it'll come out. Let's take a look and see. So what I'm going to do, like I said, I like to get above the model a little bit. And let's see if we can zoom in on this guy. Maybe down just a little bit. And you want to move the camera around and get the angle right, because what looks good up here to the naked eye will not look good on camera. So you need to move the camera around until you find just that right angle, just that right spot, and then you pull the trigger. So let's see what we got here. Ooh, yeah, I like that. That looks crispy. That looks super nice. And I'm going to snap. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like that.
You got gold?
I like that.
Coming over to see.
Let's see.
Oh God.
Coming over to see.
I like that. Watch out now. See, look at that. That's crispy.
That's gold.
That's crispy.
That's gold.
First shot.
That's gold.
First shot. All right, so let's get another one here. Let's kind of get another angle that I like to do is kind of chest up profile, like the side of the head. For me, seeing the mech look off in the distance to portray that, it's just something kind of classic. It's a nice romantic shot, if you will, not in the, hey baby kind of way, but in a more traditional sense. So let's try to capture that here, if you will. Now we're going to shoot landscape, which means horizontal orientation, and let's see if we can capture that. We need to steady it, zoom in. Ooh, focus, 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 focus. Come on, pull it back just a little bit, because it's just not, it's a little too close. Ooh, I think we got another one. Ooh, that's nice. That's super nice. We're going to show that to the audience here in a second. Let's see if you can capture that. Can you zoom in on that and see?
It's about as much as I get.
What's she look like? Looking good? Look at that.
Bring it in. Let me see that.
Bring it in? What you go? Okay, we're handing it off to Brax then. What you look like? What you look like, bro?
What she look like? We got you. Come on. Already.
Look at that. I like that. That's a super classic pose, in my opinion. Now I'm going to show it to the audience here just real quick. Look at that. See? Nice little angle there.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, zoomed in. It's got some nice detail to it. It's looking crispy, and man, you can do that up, especially in post-processing, and make that really, really pop. Man, that the background is kind of nice and blurry. That's called bokeh. For those of you scoring at home, the blurriness, that's what bokeh is, and. Man, yeah, good shot, good shot. All right, so
what else is bokeh?
Bokeh.
But okay, now explain the difference between that and aperture.
We're going to get into that a little bit later, because we need to talk about that. That's going to be in the specifics. There's the holy trinity when it comes to photography. It's aperture, shutter speed, and ISO. We're going to get into that later. We're just talking about kind of like composition and stuff right now. So stay tuned for that, because those three pieces of information will definitely up your game. So, excuse me. Let's get one more shot. Let's see what we can do from kind of a nice single portrait here. Now, I'm gonna get down.
Stand it up straight.
Nah, just like that.
You can always adjust the light.
No, I like it like that. I'm good with that setup. So let's see here, and we're gonna zoom in. Just a bit, just a little bit. We're gonna focus it out, maybe bring it up just a hair.
It looked like you painted on those water slides.
Ooh, I think we got another one. All right, it's processing. Oh, it's not bad. It's not exactly centered, but we can fix that. We can crop that. Can we zoom in on that?
Did you use water slides and dry transfers on this?
Those are all water slides.
You said LEDs?
You can't see one ghost line.
Usually I have the
Not
green ones
one
in, but
trace
I don't
of
know right now.
one edge. One.
So this image is looking crispy.
Yeah, the red ones are kind of hard to find.
Nice and crispy.
Should I just use it? Should I hand the camera instead?
All right. So, as you can see, you can get some amazing shots with a nice little point and shoot camera. Very convenient. And, man, you can probably a little bit smaller than most cell phones nowadays. And you fit it right in your pocket. Take it anywhere. You can do more than model shooting with a nice little point and shoot. So, with that being said, this is, you know, kind of a middle ground. I do like to pull this out every once in a while when I don't want to lug out the, you know, the big DSLR, stack the lenses on, all that good stuff, because this thing takes nice photos. Again, if you go to the website childofmecha.com, you will be able to see the petite new bear guy and the Gundam version Logic. Those are both shot with this camera 100%. So all of those photos on here came out of this camera. So it'll show you, you know, basically what you can achieve with this thing. So nice point and shoot, very, very convenient and affordable, I might add. All right, so let's get serious. Let's get crazy. Let's get nutty. Big boy. Let's get some shots of this. Now, I've got a standard 50 millimeter on here. It's a fixed focal point, focal length, I should say, lens. It does not zoom. This is what's called a prime lens. Prime lenses are fixed focal length lenses. They come in a bunch of different varieties, 50, 35, 85, 24, you name it. There are standard focal lengths that you can purchase. Now, the zoom lenses, which are different, what you're watching on right now is a 24 to 105 millimeter zoom lens. That's what we're filming this stream on. So it has the ability to physically zoom in to the subject. So if you wanted to zoom in with a prime lens, you physically have to move closer to the subject. So the 50 millimeter, why I like that so much on this full frame camera is the 50 millimeter is the closest that you'll see comparably to what the human eye sees. So that's why a lot of people like a 50 millimeter. The only drawback is you can't get super close with this guy.
And you can't get super far, right?
You can get, yeah, you can get far. You can get far. You can get as far as you want to.
I thought 50. So 50. So the 50 starts somewhere, but you can go back, but it has to.
Yeah.
It starts from a certain distance, right?
You can focus to infinity on these lenses, so you can get it back as far.
You just can't get too close.
Yeah, you can't get too close. There's a minimum distance that you can get up on.
Right.
All right. It'll just it won't focus. Yeah.
It won't focus until you say, you know.
Yeah. All right, so for ease of use, there are different modes in the camera. You can shoot full auto, you can shoot full manual, you can shoot aperture priority or shutter priority. Me personally, I don't like to mess around too much with manual. I will do it on occasion, but you know, you really have to work hard to you know, get a nice shot in full manual. But once you get it dialed in, then you can use it whenever. Me personally, I like what's called aperture priority. I will set the aperture in the camera, and then the camera will compensate based on the lighting conditions. It will adjust the ISO and the shutter speed. Now I lock in my ISO, so it will only adjust the shutter speed at that point. So let's talk about what we do, or what I do, to get the shot with this, and then we'll start to get into specifics, that whole trinity like we touched on before, to get good shots. So now with this camera, you can shoot through the LCD. I don't prefer that. I actually like going old school and shooting through the viewfinder. So what I'm going to do, get in nice and close again.
Is the lighting good?
Lighting's fine, yeah. Now, That's minimum distance that I can get in. That's about what? About a foot away?
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly 1
So
foot.
I can't get any physically closer to this model than what I'm at right now. But that's not a bad photo. Let's get another one here real quick. Let's up the aperture so it gets focused a little bit better. Let's bump it to f8. And we'll catch focus. Let's see, catch focus right on the head and shoot down. Ooh, that's not bad. That's not bad. Look at that.
We have bush. Yes. Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah, to Revenge of the Nerds.
Let's show the audience here real quick, guys. What do you guys think?
Oh, yeah.
Look good? So that, can you get zoomed in on this, Irad? We'll show you later, Meat.
The person does it.
We'll show you. Don't worry about it. So that's what you get with a full frame sensor. This is a full frame sensor, a full 1-inch big old sensor, getting a ton of light into it, and it produces such a nice crispy image. It's insane. Very low grain on this. Super nice. So that's what you get with a full frame. We're going to talk about that here in just a moment when we talk about the Holy Trinity, but I got to show Meaty here. What do you think? Look good? You like it? Yeah? All right, cool. All right, so real quick, let's switch it up here. Let's get nutty. I'm going to turn this camera off. I am going to find the lens cover.
Right over here.
What did I do with it? Oh no, that's the that's not the actual. That's the other one. There it is. There's the lens cover. All right, cool. So you need to display camera discipline. When you're not using it, always put on the lens cap to save the glass. So let's get crazy and let's put on some macro tubes here.
There you go.
So we can get in physically closer to the model and get super close-ups. So let's throw on the 21 millimeter tube here. We're gonna take these. Come on now. There we go. All right. So again, camera discipline. When you take off a lens, hold it down like this so dust doesn't get on the sensor, because your enemy is dust. So we hold it down like this, flip the lens over so you don't get dust on the underside. We can put that down temporarily on the table. Again, camera discipline, holding it down, strapping on the macro tube, and then we get the 50 on there. Lock that in. Everything's good. So there, you don't have much of a bigger lens at that point with the tube on. It's very small form factor. So we're going to flip that back on, remove the lens cap, and now we're going to get in a little bit tighter. Let's see how close we can get in. So before, we were a foot away. That was our minimum distance that we could get in on this model. Let's see where we can go. All right, let's start. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at this. Okay, so it's exciting. You guys don't even know. Shooting macro is so much fun. A photographer, I forget who said this, but if your image is not interesting, get closer. It makes the world of difference. It makes the world of difference. So let's get closer, shall we? All right, let's find minimum here. Let's find minimum distance. Okay, so right about there is minimum distance. What is that, 4-5 inches? Compared to a foot before, and we've got the middle-sized tube on here. Now, you can stack, like I said, you can stack all 3 of these tubes, and I think the minimum distance would probably be inside your subject at that point. But using this one tube, increasing the focal distance 21 millimeters, allows you to get basically half the minimum distance to what was on the native lens. So let's get a shot here. Let's bump the f-stop. Let's go f13, see what that looks like. Now, the one thing when you are shooting macro, the depth of field, the amount of area that's in focus is razor thin. So you have to compensate for that by upping your f-stop. We will touch on that here just momentarily. But let's see what we got here. Let's see what kind of image we can capture here. All right, let's get down a little bit, down and dirty. Ooh, yeah, there we go, there we go, there we go. Oh, let's see. That's not bad. That's not bad. What do you think?
Oh yeah, definitely focusing. The focus is on the very top of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
That's not bad. I would have. Shooting macro, you definitely need to employ a tripod. You can shoot handheld if you got enough light, but there is some motion blur on this, mainly because it's at f13, which is a higher f-stop, meaning there's not a lot of light getting in. I'll explain that here in a minute, but we're going to show the audience here just real quick. What do you guys think? Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah? Like it? Yeah. Meaty, what do you think?
I'll call you meaty. One, and that's pretty good.
We got Meat Sack here in the audience. We love him. It's just he's our boy.
He's definitely part of the core team. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. He's an all-star. So what do you think? What do you like about that? You like that?
What I like about it is when you shoot from a DSLR and you want to capture that, they have the same thing on Instagram. It's called what's that little thing called?
Vignette.
It's called the tilt shift.
Tilt shift, yeah.
Not the vignette, but the tilt shift. The only problem with the tilt shift is it doesn't, like, you get no detail. It starts right there, and whatever's in back of it or on the side or you know, around that little radius piece is blurred.
Yeah.
This right here blurs it out in levels.
Yep.
The way it's supposed to be. You know what I mean?
And that's called depth of field, guys. Let's show the audience here at home. Can you zoom in on that, Ira?
Let's go a little bit closer.
So what do you guys think at home? Looking good? Full frame sensor, 50 millimeter, macro. I think it's a killer shot. All right, so let's try to get another one here, just real quick. Let's get a low shot and see what that looks like here, because we got him up on the pedestal here. Let's see what we can manage at a low shot. Now, I'm gonna have to go LCD shoot on this. Simply because my head can't fit all the way in there. So as much as I'd like to, my head's not going to fit in there. All right. Ooh, there we go. That's not bad. Okay, that's not bad, but the focal point was on the chest, so the head is out of focus. So what we'll do is I will catch the focus on the head and then move the camera holding the focal point right there, and then snap the pic. That's not terrible. That's not terrible.
It goes to show you never get, like,
Yeah.
It's like Matrix. Nobody makes their first jump. You're going to have to shoot multiple photos.
Yeah.
Yeah, see how it keeps on conking it
It's hunting. It's hunting for focus. There we go. That's a winner.
Yep.
That's a winner. Look at that.
You can sell that.
Yeah, right.
Definitely.
Got that one eye going there. Just that hint of red. We're going to show you here in a minute, guys, but I want to show the audience here real quick first. See that one eye?
Oh, yeah.
That hint, that just
a little bit sharper.
yeah, just that little.
Looks pretty good.
It kind of looks. It's got like an evil stare, you know.
It's cool. Like you said,
Sinister.
head and move the camera.
Sinister.
Yeah.
It gives it that sinister
Yeah.
look.
So if you guys can see that.
Mind you, we're taking awesome pictures with a static model. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's no action poses here. This is like all just good from the gate.
So it's got that, whoa, there we go, okay, cool. So it's got that one, you can see that one eye, head is tilted just a little bit, kind of got that evil look. So we'll post these pictures at home again, or post these pictures on Instagram and Facebook and everything, guys, so you can see them at home once we're done with them, once we post-process them. But this is what they look like right out of the camera. They already look good, so we're not going to be able to do too much in terms of post-processing. We might mess with the white balance a little bit. We might mess with the exposure, maybe some levels and things, maybe the structure. But, again, really good pictures straight out of the camera. Really good. I'm really happy with this. So once you get the gear and start playing around with it, you'll start to get these shots. You'll start to get the shots. I got tongue tied a little bit.
Now you know how I feel.
My mouth was moving faster, or my brain was moving faster than my mouth.
It
so
happens, bro.
apologize.
It's okay.
All right,
It's
so
okay.
Let's talk about the specifics of the camera here. Like we said before, with any camera, and this goes for phones as well, there are 3 settings that you absolutely 100% need to be aware of. Aperture, shutter speed, and ISO. I'll go through each one of them and tell you kind of what they mean. Aperture, first, is denoted on your camera by what's called an f-stop. So you'll see the letter F and then a number. And it ranges from anywhere between maybe 1.8, 1.4, maybe down to 1.2, all the way to normally about 22, f22. Now, the aperture is actually the leaves in the camera lens. When they open up at their widest, that is actually the lowest number. So 1.2, 1.4, 1.8, what have you, whatever your particular lens is capable of. The lens that we're shooting on right now can only go down to f4, but still really, really good. You're still going to get some really good bokeh out of that, some nice blurry, creamy backgrounds and things. The aperture is what controls the amount of focus, your depth of field. The higher the number, the more things that are going to be in focus. The lower number, the less that is going to be in focus. That depth of field is going to be much more shallow. So what happens is the leaves in the camera physically open up to let in more light to the sensor that's grabbing the image. The more light that you have, again, the clearer that things are going to be, and then also too, you can kind of get that nice creamy bokeh in the background or kind of around the edges of your subject and things. So bokeh is what you're kind of looking for if you really want that kind of nice artistic look. But if you do want everything in nice, crispy, clear, focus, raise the f-stop a little bit. Now, the 3 settings work in unison together. When you adjust one, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have to adjust the other 2, and then kind of going all the way back and forth between the 3 to dial it into where your particular picture is going to look really good. So we've already covered aperture. Let's talk about shutter speed. Shutter speed is pretty straightforward. It's the speed that the shutter opens and closes. Now this is calculated between a full second, maybe 3 seconds, on up to thousandths of a second. So 1/8,000ths, you'll see that on your camera. The faster the shutter moves, the less light, again, is getting into that sensor, and you're going to be able to freeze time much better with a very fast shutter speed. Now, the drawback on that is that if you shoot at a super high shutter speed, you're going to need to compensate for the loss of light into the sensor. So you're going to need to open up the aperture more. You're going to need to lower that f-stop so light can get in easier to the sensor. So slower shutter speeds also will cause what's called motion blur. Now, like you've seen in some of these pictures, there's a little bit of motion blur going on. That's, you know, hand holding the camera. Hand holding is good, but not perfect. If you have a tripod, utilize that. That will get you completely steady, and then you won't have to really worry about motion blur all that much. So shutter speed balances with aperture. But then there's the third component, which is ISO. ISO is the amount of sensitivity to light that your sensor is able to achieve. The lower the ISO, which is in some cameras goes down to 50 ISO, normally it's about 100. The lower that sensitivity is, the more light that you need to let in through the aperture or longer through the shutter speed. The higher sensitivity, the more light then is being absorbed by the sensor, and then you can either cut down on the f-stop or raise that ISO a little bit higher. And like I said, you need to balance the three out to capture the image that you want to try and find. Now, natural question: what do you use? What do I use? Well, there's no magic settings, unfortunately. I wish there were. I wish I could just tell you, oh, f-stop this, shutter speed that, ISO this other one.
But it all changes according to how
it all changes. Yeah, it all changes based on your lighting, based on your subject, and based on what gear you're using.
Okay,
because
so if you can order it.
Yeah.
Right. So if you can put it in the order, so you would be saying, okay, first things first, you make sure your lights are in.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So lights have to be established first.
Right.
Before adjusting any camera stuff. Okay, so now we're on a camera. Okay, I just wanted to get that out the way.
Yeah.
So lights is the first step, and then camera adjustments and everything else.
Lights not only add in more, obviously, light to it, but they also create an artistic look to it as well, because the lights here are shining in on both sides, creating kind of a shadow in the middle here, and then on the insides of the legs, maybe on the inside of the shield and stuff like that, where the light isn't getting to, so it is creating somewhat of an artistic effect. If you move these lights around, you'd still technically have the same amount of light, but you'd have a different look.
Different ways.
Yeah.
Right. See, with me, like when I shoot, I always like to shoot with one highlight and then one low light.
Right.
I like to bring the highlight up so it'll show some shadow from up here, but I usually bring the low light so it'll show a shadow coming from this way.
Right.
When those two mix up, and then you have light bouncing off of this, it'll automatically light that just a little bit.
A little, yeah.
Light, it'll bounce off, you know. So I like to kind of keep them. I never like to have them just like that.
Yeah.
Never like that unless I'm shooting like a static shot that's just like a straight, like your Aussie shot.
Right. Yeah,
like
yeah.
From the very top. It's
Right.
the only time I would ever have them like this. But when I really want to show off the suit, I usually put one higher. I'll put one higher, say at this angle, and I'll put like a lower one because it just makes all of the difference. It actually, you know, and actually gives your model some definition.
Yeah,
you know?
There's actually a name for that type of lighting setup. Your highlight would be your key. Your lower light would be your fill. So key and fill.
So is there a middle?
There can be. Yeah.
And what's that? What's the name of that?
Just another fill light.
Just another
Yeah.
fill. Okay.
So any light that's not your main light is your fill light.
Okay.
Now you can have additional lights. You can pull this model out from the background a little bit. You can have a light shooting from behind to create kind of a highlight around the head and everything. That's basically called trim light or your highlight. You can have that. You can have a bunch of different lights going on. There's endless amounts of lighting setups, but for ease of use, we're just using a 2-light setup right now.
This setup is pretty sweet, if you ask me. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love my setup, but after looking at this and realize that, wait, how much are these little lights?
This one was like $30, but you can get them cheaper than that.
Oh,
My retina.
Oh, sorry
Oh,
about that. My bad.
We just blinded my audience. Thanks.
Sorry about that, y'all. No, but I'm really psyched on it. One of the reasons why I'm so psyched on it, and why I think this would be the better investment. Don't get me wrong. If you have the money to spend, these is what I would recommend because you can adjust how bright you want it to be. Sorry about that, Tim. You got a job. But yeah, that's why I like this. This setup right here, I'm ready to take this setup home. I'll just mail you the other one. And have that. So what? I don't care how far it got me.
Now, if you think about it for a second, using the desk lights and fluorescent lights, or if you get an LED bulb, these, in the long run, are actually cheaper. Because you figure these are $30 a piece, you're running them on rechargeable batteries, right? Or you can actually plug some of these in to the power. So you're not even using batteries at that point, right?
Think about how quick the setup can be. You can take these anywhere.
Yeah. You can throw these in your backpack and be ready to shoot anywhere.
But the problem is, one of the hard parts is taking your actual Gundam kits out.
Well, yeah.
Is something, because you can't shoot on dirt.
Yeah.
You can't shoot on dirt. You ain't shooting on grass and none of that. That's actually hard.
Good luck putting it on concrete.
Yeah, well, concrete ain't bad because you can. If something falls, you can actually see it.
Yeah, but I don't want
Grass,
I don't want the
dirt,
paint touching the
snow, and hell no.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right.
It's like put it on sandpaper,
Keep it in
man.
the studio, buddy.
All right.
They're gonna say it was Photoshop.
Yeah, exactly. So, back to what we were talking about, guys. The holy trinity of photography. So, balancing the three out is absolutely crucial to getting a good photo. Now, what you're going to find on DSLRs and also the point and shoots, you're going to find on the dial, you're going to see some abbreviations, some letters. M, full manual. A is auto, or you might have like a green, type of symbol or something like that. That's full auto. That's like you just shoot it and let the camera deal with it. A or AV. Is usually aperture priority. That's what I like to shoot in because it's really straightforward. You still have a lot of control. If you lock in your ISO, to a certain level, I usually start it at around 1600. For me, that's what works. Between 800 and 1600. Sometimes I'll have to bump it to 3200. Depending on the camera, you're not going to get a lot of grain out of that because the higher sensitivities, the more grain you introduce into the photos. So that's something to keep in mind as well. So I like to usually start, like I said, between 800 and 1600. That's a good middle point for me for the setup that I shoot. Now, something like this, you might have to adjust that, but start with 800, between 800 and 1600, and then start to balance out your other settings from there. I'll lock in the ISO, like I said, and then take a test shot with my aperture, whatever I'm trying to achieve. If I want a low aperture and I want some nice bokeh in the back, or if I want everything nice and crispy and clear, I'll bump up the aperture, and then the shutter speed will adjust automatically. Now, when you have, again, lower light getting in, you live?
Yes.
Oh, what's up, Instagram? I didn't know. How you doing? Look at you. What's good? Who's in here?
Look at you.
Is Juan in there?
Juan. Yeah, I don't think he popped up.
Oh, he didn't pop in? All right. We're saying hi to our people. Anyway, but if you have a low light getting into the sensor, you need to adjust accordingly, maybe use a tripod, things like that. You need to balance these subjects out. There's a ton of YouTube videos that go into explaining the idiosyncrasies between the Trinity. If you are on YouTube, there is a very prominent photographer, videographer guy, Peter McKinnon. I highly recommend his videos. The dude is funny. The dude seems really genuine, and he knows his stuff. He shows you tips and tricks of photography and also videography in very simplistic layman terms. So a super subscribe, insta subscribe subscribe honestly, and just keep an eye on his photo or videos and stuff. So Peter McKinnon, guys, go subscribe to that guy. He's definitely a winner. There's also some other ones out there. His friend Matty Hopka is also a really good one in terms of photography. That Comcast truck was dragging a ladder.
Was that what it was?
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, that's what it was. It was dragging a ladder. Sorry, everybody at home. We just had to stop because we saw a Comcast van with a ladder on the side, dragging it and basically sparking up the road here. Just one of those things that you don't see every day. That you kind of look out the window and you're just like, huh?
Their whole rack.
Yeah, probably. Did he stop?
Yeah, he's in the lot.
Oh man.
Mike, what up?
Anyway, sorry folks at home. This is what happens on a live stream. Some crazy stuff happens, right? Hey, what's going on, Instagram? I see you. I see you out there. I see you out there. I see you there too. What are you shooting? You shooting for YouTube?
Just a post.
Just a post? Okay.
We'll know to check it out.
Okay, cool. Rock and roll. Hey.
Hand up, Brax.
Okay, we're clowning. We're clowning here in the Gundam Kitchen, guys. It's all fun. It's so much fun here. If you're in the area, I don't care if you're 3 hours or 4 hours away, 5, 6, 7, 11 hours away. You need to get here and you need to have some fun on one of these build days, one of these classes. Yeah, come on.
These classes.
Yeah.
Tim is.
What's he?
We gave him. Hold up.
What?
Is this class number 5? No, this is 5.
5? Okay, we'll call it 5.
Was it 5? You gave 2 scratch builds, one
scribing.
two scribing.
No, one scribing, 1 fab, and then a free one. So yeah, this is 5.
This is 5. See that?
Yeah.
On the record here.
Sorry for the intermission, everybody. We're just having fun. I hope you enjoy it.
Does anybody have any questions out there? Yo.
No, we'll take questions later. We'll take questions later.
These questions.
Yeah,
Stick around.
we'll take questions later.
He said, what
We'll
about
hook it up.
17 hours? Damn, Tease, I know you're in Florida, brother.
Yeah, 17 hours. Come on, man. There's still time to get here. Well, maybe tomorrow.
What kind of cannon were you using?
The one I'm shooting on?
Yeah.
It's a 5D Mark II. It is an older camera, guys. Keep that in mind. They're up to the 5D Mark IV right now. That's the big boy. That's their big gun. Still in the consumer range of higher end cameras. You can go 1DX, but that's you're talking serious money. You're talking 8-9 grand for the camera body alone. That's money. Unless you're doing it professionally or you got some coin to spend, I think that's way outside of the realm of regular consumers. Now, when I bought this, it was kind of on the older side. The newer model, like I said, was coming out like just a month later, which I still kick myself in the butt for, unfortunately. But when I got that, I think that was about $2,500, and that actually came with the lens as well. So, somewhat of a better deal. Who?
Nah, it's both Tims.
2 Tims?
I got 2 Tims in the room right now.
What up, Tim?
Go ahead.
Anyway, so 5D Mark II, my new favorite is what we're shooting on right now, which is getting amazing shots, by the way. The Canon T7i. That's their newest Rebel. It's a smaller form factor. It's got a nice pop-out LCD touch lens. All of the settings are super, super nice. Basically the same, almost the same what you get in the 5D Mark II, but it is called a crop sensor, APS-C. So it's a smaller sensor. So what that basically means is that you're not going to get that really crispy, creamy feel, but you're going to get really, really close to it. What the crop sensor does is it increases the focal length of any lens that you hook onto it by 1.6. That's what the crop factor is. So if I were to put on the 50 millimeter times 1.6, whatever that may be, I think it's around 66, something around there. Who's good at math? Anybody good at math? No?
Yeah.
Okay, figure it out at home. I don't care. But anyway.
1.6?
Yeah, by 1.6. Multiply that by 1.6. So probably closer to more like 70-ish, maybe? Something around there?
1.6 times what?
Times 50. Anyway, we're trying to figure it out. We're not Einsteins here, people. We're not Peter, Peter McKinnon. We don't mess with that stuff. Anyway, so it is good to know. So multiply it
80.
on a crop. Yeah, okay. So on a crop sensor, you multiply it by 1.6, and that's what your focal length is. Now, for zooms, if you want to capture a zoomed-in image, you're gonna actually make out on the deal. But if you want to shoot at a wider angle, then you're gonna get a little, you're gonna take a hit. Now, let's put it that way.
Question, right? You got that T7, right?
Yeah, T7i.
And you got the 5D.
5D Mark II right here. Yes, sir.
What's the difference in price?
A lot, yeah. Like I said, when I got this,
because I know that's the important part. I know this is something everybody wants to know. Okay.
Yeah.
I know you say it's a difference, and this one ain't that far off. But how much is it price wise? Just kind of give me a good gauge. So I know exactly what I'm not paying for. That
right there is an excellent question. Excellent question. Let's talk about prices. Prices for DSLRs are not going to be cheap. If you want to step up to a DSLR, you are going to spend some money. For the 5D Mark II, like I said, when I bought that back in 11 or 12, that was $2,500 for the kit. It came with the 24-105L lens. That's Canon's nicest level of lenses, the nice red stripe around the lens. Everybody loves those. But $2,500 for the kit, full frame camera, body, and the battery and associated chargers, accessories, and stuff like that. So $2,500 for that. For the T7i that I just bought recently, for the body alone, that was, I believe, $750 on Amazon. It might have come down since then, since it's got a little bit of age on it. But yeah, you're looking at about $750 for the body alone. Lenses are a completely different story. This 50 right here, I mentioned earlier, was about $350. You can get a nice 50 1.8. They call it the Nifty 50 for just about $100, which shoots incredible pictures. This is a 1.4. This is the gold ring. This has an ultrasonic motor in it, so it doesn't make any noise when it's focusing. Which is really nice if you're shooting video on your camera and you're using the mic or maybe an attached mic or something like that. That's super important. For the 24-105, if you were to buy that lens separately, that's about I think it's about an $800 lens. I also have a 70 to 300 millimeter 4-5-6 lens at home. That's kind of it's a white one with the red ring. That lens was about $1,300 when I bought it. Now, those are, to be honest with you, those are on the lower side of the L series price range. You can go with their flagship lens, the legendary 70-200 f2.8. That will run you probably around $2,000. But I've rented that lens, and it changes your life. I mean, that lens is legendary. That lens has been around for probably a good decade. They're at the Mark II level now. When you shoot photos with that, you get such beautiful shots. It's not even funny. Shooting a zoomed-in photo at f2.8, you get the nice bokeh. When you zoom in, you get subject separation from the background naturally. It's just beautiful, beautiful shots. If you have the money, I highly recommend it. If not, you can rent it for pennies on the dollar and keep it, for a few days and shoot with it and stuff like that. Tons of rental houses around the country. They'll mail it to you overnight. You send it back to them. You pay a price, and basically you can just give the lens back. I've done that a bunch of times. Excuse me, rented a nice fisheye lens, got some crazy vacation photos with that. But yeah, you can get a ton of stuff off the rental houses. You can actually rent cameras too if you're so inclined. If you're going on vacation or if you have an event to shoot or something like that, you can rent a 5D Mark IV. You can rent a 1DX if you want, rather than drop the almost $10,000 for that setup. So yeah, so DSLRs are not are not cheap. Plain and simple.
Common either. Shit.
Yeah. For the normal person, not doing videos, not doing, high-level photography, they're not necessarily common. So that's where, a nice little point and shoot comes into play. Affordable. This was, again, I think like $400 on Amazon. Like you saw, you can get amazing shots out of this little guy. So
Mirrorless cameras.
Mirrorless cameras. Good point. Mirrorless cameras, excuse me, are a somewhat of a newer technology, which probably within the last decade or so. Mirrorless cameras are a smaller form factor, basically a little larger than this, a little larger than a nice point and shoot, but they have the ability to strap on big, bulky lenses. Sony has an amazing line of mirrorless lenses, their Alpha series. Those cameras just are off the charts for photo quality. Right. From what I've seen in tests, lagging a little bit, just a hair in video quality compared to, say, Canon and stuff, but not by much. It's not a deal breaker by any means. So mirrorless cameras definitely are an upcoming technology. I've been half tempted to switch to Sony mirrorless, their Alpha series.
Ever shot with one?
I've never physically shot with one, no, but I've watched a ton of YouTube videos, reviews and stuff like that, seen footage, test pictures and things, they're damned impressive.
Have you seen any like first-hand photos of the difference in between them, or did they cover all that in the YouTube video?
Yeah, no. If you watch review videos of the Alpha series, you'll have video footage differences between cameras. You can find some of those on there. You can go on different review sites and find an image taken with a Canon or a Nikon or a Sony, and you can compare. Yeah, right. Yeah. And then the things that you want to look for are nice low-level grain. You're looking for a nice sensor array, how many points of focus are involved in that sensor, and if you can get a full frame sensor, I highly recommend it because you can see the differences in the shots, definitely.
Have you ever shot with the IJ5 at Nikon?
I have not. I am not a Nikon guy. Sorry, folks.
Have you heard anything about it?
I have not.
Oh, okay.
I don't pay attention to it. I'm strictly Canon. I'm invested in Canon glass, especially, obviously. But yeah, I'm a Canon guy. Not to say that there's anything wrong with Nikon. If you use Nikon, awesome.
Because the other thing, that's what he shoots with.
Yeah.
He don't shoot with he shoots with with that joint.
Yeah. No, Nikons are really good.
Because he's the one that asked you about the mirrorless.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. Nikons are awesome too. Don't get me wrong. It's just I started with a Canon, and that's what I've invested in. So I'm a Canon guy.
Are you using tubes on that? Extension tubes, I guess?
On the 5D here? Yeah. I got the 21 millimeter extension tube on here for that last shot. So so we'll post-process those. We'll show you those here in a little bit.
Anything specific? Is there any tricks for the SX40?
SX40?
Canon, yeah.
I've not shot with an SX40, so.
Is that an older one or a newer one?
Honestly, I don't know.
Probably.
I'm so out of what is available right now for Canon because I wanted to get the T7i and I've got the 5D. So
how long have you had the T7?
4 months maybe.
And how long have you had the 5D?
Oh, since about 2011, 2012.
Oh damn!
Yeah.
Hold up, ain't that up to the 7D now or something like that now?
No, 7D's a different model. They're up to this is a 5D Mark II. They're up to the 5D Mark IV now. So
Tim, like on the bargain side. Like when I got my camera 3 years ago, and the 7 was out.
Right.
I got the 5 because it was like $200 cheaper.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it's even way cheaper.
Yeah.
Now, so.
Yeah.
And how much between those generations is that huge of a difference? Pictures of
no, there can be. I mean, it's going to be feature based. Say with a T5i compared to the T7i, you might not get a touchscreen. You might not get Wi-Fi connectivity. You might not get autofocus when shooting video.
But
quality-wise, they're probably going to be very, very similar.
Probably gonna be neck and neck, right?
The newer models are going to have newer processing, the newer processing chips, newer sensors. They're probably going to have a higher tolerance for ISO levels in terms of the grain. So yeah, the newer technology is going to have a bit of a quality bump.
Okay, check this out. I got $300 I've been saving for a camera, right?
Right.
The newer camera is another $150 to $200 more.
Okay.
Right? But the one that I see all of the banging photos are coming from your camera, which is 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Just say 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Which one do I go with? You know what I mean? I want a DSLR. Cool. So that's out. That's already put out there. I want one. But do I save the $150 and just go with the one that's more up to date, or will this $300 camera from a couple years ago that's been performing nicely, can that serve the purpose and hold me?
That is an awesome question. My response would be, look into the settings, look into the features, what's available on that new camera versus your an older camera.
Right.
If the features on the older camera are up to your standards, go with that. If you want the features of the new camera, you got to hustle that $150.
Right.
You know?
You're absolutely right. No, you're right. No, you're right. No, because like that's the line that a lot of people are on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what's so funny is like they'll throw that all away and just go get a camera phone.
Yeah.
Just be like, all right, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're just wondering.
I mean, the reason why I bought the T7i is because obviously I wanted to start shooting a lot of video, and shooting with the 5D, although it makes amazing video footage, it doesn't have the autofocus, doesn't have the touch screen, face lock, and all of that.
So you upgraded
hamstring.
not because it wasn't giving you exactly what you wanted, but because you just wanted more features.
You wanted I wanted the features, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So if I get me a Canon T7, or even if I go back to a T3,
right,
or something like that, because 9 times out of 10 they probably like 250, 300. Like,
they're
cheap
crazy
now, you know what I'm
cheap,
saying?
Yeah.
But it's just the features.
Yeah.
And I know it's going to give me that Canon quality, but I'm just paying for features.
You're paying for features. You're paying.
So that's the difference between buying a regular kit and then buying P-Bandai.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. It's okay. Let's talk about. Let's say this
to me.
It's the difference between buying a Bandai kit and a DeBand kit.
Okay. Damn.
So
punches coming from everywhere.
So the Bandai kit is going to be your top of the line. It's going to fit. It's going to be assembled perfectly. It's going to look awesome. There's not going to be any discoloration or warped plastic or anything like that, or texture on the plastic. But your DeBand kit could give you some issues, but it's still the same subject, but you're gonna have to work a little harder to achieve that same look. You know what I mean?
I got you.
Make sense?
Yes, it makes all the sense. I was trying to get it to make sense to me. I was trying to understand. Let me see something.
This is another question.
Okay, another question.
T-band has better posability than a Bandai.
They don't.
Meaty, just get out of my class.
Okay,
Meaty,
so
get out of my
that's a
class.
question.
All right.
Okay, so he said.
So we turned into a Q&A session here. Let's go.
It just jumped in real quick.
That's cool. It's good.
He said, I think.
Who's asking?
Tim's point. NYC.
Okay,
I think
okay.
Tim's point from before is a good point. From the last question, if you want to see the difference, I say people should rent the camera before they buy one.
Yes. Yeah, renting a camera is basically like taking for a test drive. So when you go to buy a new car, are you gonna buy that car sight unseen without driving it?
Right. That's why they give you the test drive.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. They might even let you take it home overnight to drive around. You know what I mean?
Right.
So renting the camera, the prospective camera that you might want to buy, is a solid idea.
Sounds like the move.
Especially if it costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, instead of just paying all that, and then trying to just figure it out the hard way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or if you have friends that actually have them that trust you, enough. Don't get me wrong. You got to be competent enough for somebody to say, "Here, check this out." But yeah, oh yeah, you still got your friend.
So, for instance, a good website to borrow to rent cameras, borrowcameras.com, borrowlenses.com. I forget which one it is. I've used them before. I've rented a bunch of stuff from them in the past. Yeah, you know, super cheap to rent. You can get them for one day. You can get them for a week or 2 weeks. However, but obviously that price is going to increase.
That's called rent.
I think it's camera. Shoot, I can't remember off the top of my head. Camera lens rental, something like that. Borrow lenses, I think. Borrow camera, something like that. Anyways, they're a good rental house to rent gear from. You can rent a ton of stuff too.
You said if you can't rent them, you can rent them at Best Buy as well.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I never tried it. So that's a good suggestion too.
Why are you asking Tim?
You can always steal one.
Why are you asking Tim about
don't do that.
Cameras, man? Justin is the cameraman.
Justin.
He says a LOL joke. He said Justin is. Why is it Tim about?
All right.
Justin is the camera.
Cool. All right. So okay. So let's kind of move on here to the next subject here. Let's see what we got on the docket here. So we've talked about the Trinity. We've talked about aperture, shutter speed, and ISO. Let's talk about focal length of the lenses real quick because that's important. So
that's what you explained before with the 50 and everything else.
So a 50 millimeter is what I have here on the 5D Mark II. That is a fixed focal length lens. That's called a prime lens. A fixed focal length is always going to be prime. That's just the terminology. For a zoom lens, what can start on the low end of a focal length and then zoom out, obviously that's called a zoom. What's he doing?
Pros and cons.
Pros and cons.
Stock lenses.
What do you mean, stock lenses?
Like the lens that.
For prime versus zoom.
Yes.
Okay, so differences between prime lenses versus zoom lenses. Normally, prime lenses you can get a much higher aperture with, meaning that you can let in a lot more light.
These are the original ones that come stock with the camera.
No, that's called a kit lens.
A kit lens. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was saying the difference between kit lens and how your limits with the kit lens and pros and cons of the kit lens.
I mean, a kit lens, it depends because you can get different kits with different kit lenses. The fact that the lens is included is basically what makes it a kit lens. You can find virtually a myriad of kits out there.
Which one would you recommend to start off with? Say I got my first DSLR,
yeah,
right? And say it comes with 3 different kits. You get the kit with the 50, you get the kit with the standard, and you get the kit with the zoom or something like that. Which one would you prefer that I start out with?
Okay, good question. So what we're shooting on the stream right now is a 24-105 lens. It's a constant f4, meaning no matter what focal length that you have it at, you can achieve an f4 aperture. So that focal length, 24 is somewhat wide. 105 is somewhat zoomed in. That gives you a really, really good variety of shots that you can use. You can go 35, you can go 24 for a nice wide shot. You can get real close and it looks kind of busted out like this. So you can get an 80.
That panoramic style?
Not exactly. Not as exaggerated as that.
So wide and panoramic. What's the
panoramic is super freaking wide. Yeah. Well, panoramic you kind of have to move around and take shots with. So a wide angle lens gives you a wider shot. So if you were shooting a 105, it would be compressed down. And you can only get so much real estate onto that image. Make sense?
As far as what you're viewing?
Yeah.
Or as far as just what's in focus?
As far as what's actually in the picture.
Okay.
Yeah. So in terms of focal lengths, to start out with, 24-105 is a really, really good opening lens if you don't want to drop money on any other lenses at the time. That is a very, very good starter lens. That's why they include it in kits. you can actually get it mounted on the T7i if you wanted to. It's a little bit of a higher price point than just the body alone, but you can do that. Now you can also get a bunch of other lenses. Like I said, the 70-200 f2.8 is amazing. You can get that. You can get fisheye lenses. You can get macro lenses. You can get tilt shift lenses, super zooms out to 600, 700, 800 millimeters for crazy zoomed in images.
When I had my Canon, I bought these little, these small little adapters. Now, if I was to say, okay, you know, everybody ain't got 300 to spend on a, you know, spend on a lens. So say I go on Amazon and I see, okay, this, you know, this lens, and they all, you know, probably happen to be under like the 76, you know, like in a 70-60 range. Do you have a company specifically that you would, you know, suggest getting the products from? You know, because it's a bunch of little third-party companies. But I know it's one of them that's better than all the rest of the cheaper ones.
That's a good question too. There's a lot of third-party companies outside of Canon, Nikon, Sony that make lenses to fit different style camera bodies.
And they come with the adapter piece to screw on the front. And
you can get adapters. So you can technically put a Sony lens on, or a Canon lens on a Sony body and achieve some really crazy shots. Those are called, you know, just adapters, and you can get them for a wide variety of camera setups to fit different lenses. So if you are invested in one company in terms of glass and you want to move to a different body, you can get an adapter and you can still use that glass that you're so invested in.
A company that sells affordable lenses.
Yes. There's a bunch of them out there. Tamron, Sigma, Rokinon, just a ton of them out there, just a ton. But those are the kind of the bigger ones that, you know, me personally, that I'd invest money in. Sigma has an amazing lens series. It's called their Art Glass.
Affordable?
No.
I'm trying to look for affordable here. I'm trying to find out, because everybody say, listen, I got a $300. Listen, I just bought a $400 camera. I don't got another $200 to blaze on the lens, man.
Yeah.
I got at the most probably another $100 that I could probably spend on it. What can I get with that?
Maybe look for Rokinon, maybe a Samyang out of China. The Chinese lenses are definitely a lower price point than say Japanese lenses are. But still pretty damn good quality, all things considered. So so Rokinon, Samyang, there's some other Chinese vendors out there. You can find them on Amazon, I'm sure, or eBay or what have you. But yeah, good question. But the Sigma lenses, the art lenses, they are definitely not affordable, but they're amazing lenses. They're amazing lenses. Who's what?
Oh, borrowlenses.com.
Borrow lenses, yes, that's the one. Borrowlenses.com. Borrow lenses. No, I said that. I said it was like borrow cameras or borrow lenses, something. Something like that. I knew it was in the ballpark, right? So borrowlenses.com is an awesome rental house that I rent from. They'll ship it to you in a day, no matter where you are in the country, and it comes nicely packaged in heavy duty styrofoam, so that lens is super protected. And you can use it for however long you want. You pay the rental fee, and then you send it back to them. The postage is already paid, and everything. It's awesome. They're really, really nice to deal with. Really, really nice. So they run deals and stuff too. So yeah, check them out if you're into renting a camera before you buy. Borrowlenses.com, definitely the place to go.
So we've passed the focal.
Focal length. Yes. Let's see what's next on the docket, because we got bogged down in technical stuff. Let's talk about. We talked about lighting. Mm-hmm. Have we talked about lighting?
Yes.
We talked about a little bit about creative lighting and stuff. Yeah. All right. So you're up. Posing.
I'm
gonna let you have this one.
Posing.
I'm gonna give you the mic.
Posing is very, very important. Here we go. All right. Here we go. Yeah, because he ain't going to let me bend up that blue Destiny. I tell you that. No, I'm not going to use that. That is the articulation sucks on that kit. I like the kit. The articulation sucks, though. You can't, dude, you can't do the elbow. You can't do the arm like this. You can't.
Technically, you can.
No, you can't, bro. Bro, you can't. Not for what I want to do. Keep on posing like you. Yeah, you could do that. You'll pose like king. It's like, no, you got it though. It's a difference though. Okay. Okay. So let me see. Where can I bring this in? Can I get a good focus in on this? Can I get a little zoom in on this?
Sure.
Can I get zooms?
Why don't you use
Yeah, that'll work.
That's my solid kit.
That'll work. All right. So we got this little.
Oh, you want to work with that?
Yeah. I'm gonna go with a high grade here. We got to just a high grade right here, right? And posing. Okay. Just give me 1 second. Let me get myself right. Somebody take this baby before I drop it.
Don't do that.
He's like, oh, you see Tim, boys. They just looked at me with the evil eye like, hey.
Boy.
There you go. Says, boy, I'm telling you, anytime a man make a shirt for a kit, don't mess with that man. That's like grabbing his food off his plate. That ain't gonna happen. Okay. Now, okay. I would say one of the number one things for posing, right? And one of the most important parts, even before you start posing, is actually knowing the limits of your kit. And actually knowing, the limits of your kit and how far you can go articulation-wise, because sometimes you're not going to be able to get the poses, you might not always be able to get the poses that you want, So it's good to kind of study, move your kit around, bend it, and do all of that stuff first before you mess around and try to put it somewhere. Next thing you know, you got a snapped arm that doesn't belong where it's supposed to be, right? So, okay, I take a time and I actually study the kit. Okay. Now, as far as, and then I remember what I said before, as far as knowing how you're going to pose it, knowing if the kit belongs on the ground or in the air. Hold on, let me grab one of these little stands real quick. I got you. Let me grab one of these little stands. Here we go. All right. See, this is one of these variable kits. This kit just happens to look good standing or in the air. So this is definitely a good pick, right? So of course we got the static poses, right? I always like the static poses, but sometimes I just usually do the static pose when I want to just show off the kit. Nothing crazy, I just want to show what I did with it. Just a regular stance pose, that way you can kind of look and see where the paint differences are with decals and whatever else I chose to do to it. That's usually when I just put it like that. That's just like the intro kit. And I mock this actual, I mock this pose from the Verka boxes. Let me do this over here. Let me get my mic right. Yeah, so I actually took that pose from the actual Verka boxes. I love those boxes. I love those poses. Let me stop this right here. Right? Hopefully that ain't gonna flood nobody out. Right? There you go. You see, this pose right here is one of my favorites. Just like Tim, don't get me wrong, I could do any action pose, I could work with a kit for 10, 20 minutes at a time. But this right here is, believe it or not, one of my favorites. I love it because you can see everything, whether you put it like that or you turn it around, it just shows it regular. And it doesn't matter whether it's a ground type or air type or whatever, it's still going to look good in that position. And yes, this is going home with me, so I'm going to keep that one right down there. I think I'm playing. All right, it's like, no. So, like I said, okay, so we got the static poses, right? All posing have, all good posing has what they call a line of action. And the line of action is just given a little bit of attitude. Line of action is the difference between, say, a shooting position that's like this, right? And a shooting position that's like this. You see where that action, you see where that comes in? That whole curve, that backbone curve, that's what you want, Here, I'll explain this to you. I wish I could show it to you live. See, this is where y'all gonna miss it live. So you should have been here, because now you can see it straight up, but hey, it happens, right? Let me see if I can, I'm trying to give you a good example here, right? Good example here, right? Now, that, if you understand, let me see. I don't know if you can actually see that or if you pay attention to this, but this right here is boring. That shit is ass. Oh, my bad. I mean, curse. That's trash. That's, to me, I think that pose sucks. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't pose like that. It's not showing a line of action. It's not showing anything that it's actually doing but this. That's not what you want. You want to bend it. Like I said, the action is the attitude. So you want to kind of bend that. You want to turn that waistline. You want to make sure that you can see certain things and hold on. How can I say this? Hold on. There we go. There we go. There we go. You see? You see? Yeah, see? Hold on, y'all. I'm going to break this. Actually. Huh? Oh, it's already broke. Oops. That was yours?
No.
Oh, I was lying. Anyway, I'm just playing. But you see that? That right there, that's a huge difference. And you ask, where's the line of action? Well, the line of action is actually in the waist. It's like right there. You want to look for something. Sometimes you can cancel it out and you can make it look less dynamic by like S-shaped, by kind of like S-shaped poses. You don't want to do that. You want to kind of keep, let me see, how can I explain this? Let me see, I'm trying to look for a word here. You might have to give me a second. Shit. Fuck, I'm at a loss of words right now. You got me. You got me. Shut up. It happens. I'm old. Okay. All right, wait. Y'all got to give me 5. Give me 1 second. Basically, get this. I'm trying to think in my brain, man. Oh, the mic is still hooked up. Okay. Y'all hear my brain? I'm like, okay, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. Okay, equations all down. All right, I got this. So basically, yeah, this is all it is. Basically, adding a little bit of motion and posing to your kit definitely is good. So usually, while I'm right here, I'll put the kit in position, right? How it looks when you see it is completely different from how it looks on cam. You know, shoulders will have to be dropped. Arms are going to have to be set. And let me see. You know what? Let's not talk about the pose itself. Let's talk about what's going on around the actual pose. Negative space. What I try to do to kind of up the pose, like I'll see this and I'll see where I'll start at. And then I'll get it all in frame. And then I'll say, okay, negative space, right? Negative space. I got a lot of negative space. And negative space in the picture is just parts in the picture that are empty, spots where nothing is happening. I try to fill up that negative space with either something from the kit or a part of, or a part of the actual kit, So instead of standing in a square like this, and I know I have this space all up on the side of me, and I have this space ahead of me, right? But I got a backpack on, and I want to utilize all of that space. How do you do that? Okay, well, fill out the space, spread out the legs a little bit, make the arms cover like pretty much right to the border of that picture. Make your backpack spread out, bring your weapons all around, do stuff like that. All of that helps. Say again?
Full armored fur cough.
Well, that fills it up. Yeah, that'll fill it up too. That'll fill it up. No, seriously.
It overfill it.
Yeah, it's good, but let me see, where was I at? Oh yeah, filling up negative space. Cropping is very, very important. Trust me, it is. Sometimes you don't need the whole, you don't need the whole kit in the picture depending on how you want your picture to look. But cropping is very, very important. You don't want the, just like Tim was saying before, it all depends on where you want to focus in on a picture. where I want people to pay attention to is where I'm going to direct that attention to. What's that called again? What's that called again, Tim? The golden.
Golden ratio.
The golden ratio. Right. There you go.
Fibonacci spiral.
Fibonacci spiral. That's right, and that's basically an order in which, like, where you start to look at a picture and it goes all the way down to the part that you look at the least, right? So if I was to take this picture, damn, you see, I'm not even on film. This is the weird part. I wish this was on Chromecast, boy. Woohoo! But if I was on film, damn, I can't even do it from here. It looks weird. Let me fix that.
We'll show on the grid in post-processing.
Okay. So I'm just gonna take the flick now and then do it on that, right? So I'm looking at this picture right now. This is the kind of weird part because I'm looking at the picture and how I have it looking here is not how I want it to look on film. The legs are spread out. Of course, like I said, it looks good from here. It looks like it's good for any tabletop game, but it's really not saying anything as far as the picture. It looks like just the positioning ain't right. So I spend a lot of time stopping to reposition, and sometimes it's actually hard while it's on camera because you have to have, it's better to have a stationary camera. I don't care. Point and shoot is cool. Holding the camera in your hand is okay, but nothing beats, and nothing is going to be as sharp as a stationary camera just sitting there, That's just the way it is. Sorry, Tim, I'm using your camera as a bipod. Sorry about that, buddy. There we go.
That is an expensive tripod.
Sorry about that. I'm trying. Yeah, it is a super expensive tripod. I'm just going to do this for 2 seconds. But I really want to get this flick, right? I really want to get it. There we go. So it's too wide, and I have to thin it out. And then thin it out, and then turn it, and then, I don't know, just put stuff in place. It sounds like I'm speaking, like I don't know what the hell I'm talking about right now, but everything is all out of, I don't even know what the hell I'm doing. This is not good right now. Hold on, give me 5 minutes. give me a couple seconds. 2, 4, 85, 2 seconds. Stop. Yo, I just gotta hold on for 1 second. Let me just get my game plan down, because I'm jumping everywhere, and I want to make sure I can get to 1 point.
Yeah, here, let me talk about the Fibonacci swirl.
Yeah, you tell them about that Fibonacci swirl. Sorry about that.
It's
Give
all
me
good,
1 second.
bro.
Let me get
Don't
my
worry about
brain
it.
together.
Yeah. No, it's all good. Yeah, zoom out for me, Irad. Let me get on a thing here. So, all right. So, guys, there is a compositional term called the Fibonacci swirl, or the divine equation, if you will. So, you might have seen it. It starts from the outside, and then it slowly in thirds starts to swirl in until it basically dissolves in on on the kind of inside of an image. Now, what that basically means in terms of photography, basically, the kind of thought process between it is that if images are centered, then they're not nearly as gripping or dynamic or interesting, if you will, in terms of something that would fall on a Fibonacci grid. So with all cameras, even smartphones, you will have a grid, like a tic-tac-toe grid, and it's cut into 3 horizontal, 3 vertical areas. And what the Fibonacci swirl kind of dictates is that things that fall either on those intersections of the grid or on the lines of that grid are going to be more interesting compositionally. So, excuse me, for instance, like a landscape. If you were out shooting a landscape and the horizon line is going to be kind of your focal point in terms of a landscape. If that is straight in the middle, it's not going to be nearly as interesting as if it were on the higher Fibonacci line or the lower Fibonacci line. So in terms of composition, you want to try and shoot something interesting, like your focal point or something like that, on either an intersection or on one of the lines, either horizontally or vertically. So that's the Fibonacci swirl, the divine equation, whatever you want to call it. The grid is another euphemism. But that's kind of how I shoot, and you will get used to shooting that way the more that you do it. So keep that in...
Shut up.
Keep that in mind. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. So, yeah. Good. So that's what the Fibonacci swirl is, the composition and things like that. So while Brax is setting up his posing here real quick, what are we doing? How are we making out? What you got?
Well,
You doing
right now? I'm just trying to get a cool pose right now.
kind of an aerial?
Talk about how to pose on a stance first.
Kind of like an aerial pose?
Yeah, teach them how to kind of pose on one of these.
Okay.
And you know, kind of hide the standing back of it, you know.
Okay, I got you.
So go ahead, finish what you're doing. I
So,
got you.
in terms of posing, some of the things that I really like, you know, like I said before, I like kind of the static pose, kind of like the, you know, very strong, you know, wide shoulders kind of back, you know, chest out front, hips, you know, a little bit, you know, curved and stuff like that, and nice wide stance, kind of in a V, and the, you know, arms kind of a little curve, kind of like that. You got that little lat, you know, thing going that, you know, some of the bodybuilders walk around like this, kind of a little bit of that, but not as exaggerated. That's the look that I personally really like. Now, if you've seen like Gundam Seed, like the Strike, especially, what's that? The Strike Gundam?
He said, "Oh no!" I'm like, "Mole suits are good. Everything else
Yeah.
is kind of trash."
So that opening shot of the Strike in the opener of Gundam Seed is really a cool pose. You know, he's just like this and got the gun out and everything. It's super dynamic. You know, the legs are all kind of bent up, and he's got the backpack going, and the wings are kind of off, and he's kind of like this, you know, that cinematic quality. So in terms of posing dynamically, that's kind of what you want to try and achieve. So where do we go for references on that?
Straight to
good.
cartoons.
Yeah.
Or box artwork as well.
Yeah. These are good. Yeah. I'll hold that one, you hold that one. So you got the IWSP. Yeah. IWSP version of the Strike. You got the blue frame here. Very, you know, dynamic, cinematic kind of posing structure. You know, you've got, and they're not looking directly at the camera. They're looking off someplace else. Their focal point, their eye point is looking somewhere aside from looking right into the camera. That also makes for a really interesting composition too.
Correct. I get a lot of my references from the cartoons.
Yeah.
I will literally watch the cartoon if I pull it out. Look.
They're animes.
Oh,
Yeah, cartoons.
Anime. They're dying over here. All right.
We all watch cartoons.
So I would actually watch the anime, right? While it's in a fight, and then pause that baby about 3 to 4 times until I see something that I wanted. Back on my page before, I was watching IBL. I saw the part on the anime where Barbatos threw his mace. So I recreated that, you know, like, you know, just different cool scenes you can recreate, even if you see them. What I see a lot of people do is they get a lot of posing they see from other artists. That works too, because the more you pose, right, the more you kind of develop your own style. Everything has to start somewhere, you know? So it can't be like, oh, I don't want to pose this like him because it's like everybody. I told myself at first I would not do a regular pose that I always see. But I realized why those poses are out there, because those are some of the best poses out there. So you kind of go with the flow on that, you know? Some box art have awesome poses. On the internet, awesome poses. If you really want to create something new, you're going to have to sit there or try to bring something new, like a new pose to the table. You're really going to be sitting there for a long time working on it. What's up?
Speaking of the pose, when you had the pose and the background together, how are you gonna say as there's a space background? How are you gonna add that with just a black
We're gonna get that after post editing and stuff like that. This is strictly on posing right now. I'm gonna teach you how to post edit and do the whole nine. Teach you how to save your file once you get it, what to save the file under when you add the background and everything.
Jumping ahead, Meaty.
Yeah.
Jumping ahead.
We coming. We're gonna be there.
We'll cover it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, so like I said, a lot of poses I got actually from just looking at references, looking at suits. It doesn't even have to be a Gundam. Sometimes I get poses from action figure photography and like my little brother. He does articulated comic book art style, right? I look at how he poses his action figures and I say, damn, can I get that from my kits? Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. What I could say is the articulation is better on the actual Gundam action figures because you can get a lot more. You can get a lot more bends, and you don't have to worry about anything falling off or doing anything like that. That's good. But sometimes when you're posing one of these model kits, it can get a little hard because things fall apart. It's a dude that actually follows me. His name is Things Fall Apart, but that's the perfect name.
Oh yeah, I follow him.
You're posing a Gundam, things fall apart, you know. And every Gundam, you're not going to be able to, you know, like to get these super dynamic poses, you know? Like, Ken, when you did that, when you did your Sazabi, it's one pose that I know everybody can win, but this is the pose with the Sazabi. The one holding the gun and walking, that's the major pose. Other than that, that kit is sort of a brick. You can't really do nothing. It's like trying to give an action pose to the O. Or to the Dendrobium. What are you going to do?
Or the hummingbird.
Right. Oh, how about, yeah, that ain't moving.
Yeah, no.
That ain't moving. I watched you take that thing apart for 10 minutes. That ain't moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. But a lot of the posings and references I get from here. You know what I mean? Get from the actual animes itself. Or you could just look up, Google the suit itself. And then you'll see, you know, you can actually Google it and you can see, oh, damn, he made it look good when he did this. He made it look good when he did that.
Yeah.
Try that and then try little variations of that. You're not going to get the exact pose. You're going to end up with your rendition of the pose that you do, but nobody really nails it unless you're Ken Suki and you have a Sazabi that's painted badass.
So some other good references are like action movies, because those action movies, the fight choreographers set up a fight and shoot it in such a way that it's cinematic. So action movies with a lot of good fights in it is a really good reference. Things like mixed martial arts, MMA, like UFC.
Comic books too.
Yeah. I mean, like the in MMA, you know, the Superman punch. Oh man, that's just a good, good thing, you know, because he's like coming down like this, and yeah, you know, you got that long kind of body line, and yeah, it's a good pose. It's a good pose.
Reference articulated comic book art, and you're gonna see everything that you want to see as far as posing, guys, because those dudes get it down. Don't get me wrong, we can pose a model. But these guys are posing multiple things all at one time and making it all work. You know what I mean? And big ups, man. Shout out to the folks that started following him.
Thank you. Yeah.
And the
back up. Yeah. What are you? Why? Hey, man. Hey. Yeah. No. Follow me. Hey, thank you guys for following. I really appreciate it. I really, really do.
You just gained 13 followers from that.
Did I? I might have. I don't know.
Big ups, man. Shout out to Tim.
Hey, there's going to be a lot more coming. This is just the beginning, too, so stay tuned to that. So cool. So, you know, posing, no matter how you want to achieve that look, whether it's a nice kind of static pose that I kind of prefer, or whether you like kind of like, you know, that Superman kind of, you know, dynamic pose that Brax is so famous for. Whatever works for you, whatever works for the model is going to make for a better picture. So keep that in mind. So you good?
Yes.
Rock and roll. Let's talk about some props. And not props like, hey, what's up, everybody? Not like that. Like actual props that you can put into a picture. So these cool like miniature stands, like what are these, like gaming stands and stuff like that, gaming pieces and everything, super cool. Now, like I said, I went to, it's all good. I went to my local Target last night, dropped $25. Let me show you some of the things that I spent my money on. The first thing, obviously, is going to be the piece of poster board. That was 99 cents. And it's awesome. It's, nice and black, matte, gives a super crispy looking background. The next thing I spent my money on is just, believe it or not, a simple block of wood.
It works.
It so works. This was maybe $2 or $3.
And I've seen clear blocks work as well, too.
Yeah. I mean, here, put that just on there and let's take a look at it. And, you don't want to necessarily just kind of put it square on. Maybe turn it to the side a little bit and look at that. That will make for a nice, what's called dichotomy, or a contrast between the technical and the organic, meaning the differences between the mobile suit and the block of wood, which aren't too commonly tied in materials. So it adds a warmness, and it also adds a kind of a naturalistic feel to the photo, which you normally don't see in model photography, or at least in Gunpla photography, that is. See, look at that. That looks wild right there. That's cool.
Yes.
And it's just a simple stand.
Yeah, it is.
That's it. Now, this is a completely unfinished block of wood. You can paint it, you can stain it.
You can panel line.
You can do whatever, yeah.
You can panel line a piece of wood.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can put plot plate on it. It can be, this is an unfinished Verlogic right here.
Yeah.
You don't know what you got here.
There we go.
P Bandai Wood Edition.
Yeah.
Oh do not tell P Bandai about Verlogic.
If Josh is watching, this is the Verlogic OG. This is the natural version Logic. Cat's in there for years. So looking good right there, but that's just the beginning, right? We got some other stuff we can add to it. I found these little triangles. They're just wall decorations. One side is foam, the other side is cork, and this was I think $5-7, something like that. And I haven't even opened them yet. That's how new they are. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take these out. It's got some 3M strips here that you can mount on the wall. But look at these things. These are just simple triangles. Like I said, cork on one side, nice kind of desaturated blue foam on the other. You get 6 of them here. I got 3 here, so I'm gonna give these to Brax, see what he can come up with them. What you got in mind?
Brax.
Yes.
Matches the dress perfect.
The blue.
Oh yeah, the blue.
Oh.
Yeah, look at that. So we're just setting them up, just kind of thinking off the top of our heads here, just messing with different little props. These are cool little things that I just found at Target. I found these down the Triforce, yeah. I found these down the around the stationary school supply area. I think these are more geared for dorm room decoration or something like that. Again, super cheap, and you just set them up. You can use them as a base. You can put a model right on top of them. You can do like Brax is doing, is making a Triforce he's making a Triforce of power, like a House of Cards type action going on here. I don't know what he's doing, but it looks interesting.
It's going to look layered by the time I get done with it.
You need the 3 others?
Yeah.
All right.
See this?
Layer them on. It's all about layers. Oh yeah, good one. We're gonna get to those here in a second. So Irad just brought us some scale buildings to put in here too. So those will look pretty cool. Also too, so check this out, guys. Bought these 2 rolls of contact paper. Now, for those of you that aren't married and aren't domesticated in any way, contact paper is what is used to line the bottom of your kitchen drawers or shelves or what have you. Some of them have an adhesive back. These are just kind of have a rubbery, non-slip type of backing, but it's cool because these came in a roll of 18 by 4 feet, and you can use this instead of the poster board. They come in a bunch of different cool kind of patterns and stuff like that. This one is just kind of a white with a textured pattern. This one obviously has more kind of like a seashell scallop type look, but again, super cool. I think $5 or $6 a piece, and you can get massive uses out of these, and they come in a bunch of different looks and textures and colors and things like that. So good background material. So yeah, check them out, Target, Walmart, what have you. Good stuff there. What do we got here? What are we doing? We're building something? What are we building? Oh, we got the buildings. We got the Triforce of Power.
But it doesn't matter. You can make anything look good.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
that looks interesting. Yeah,
Because even if I shot this and it looks like Cork Mountains in the back.
Cork
Remember,
Mountains.
This is all scale. You got to remember. This is all scale. As long as you ain't taking a picture of it next to a basketball or something like that. Everything else seems like it's made for it. So I'll show you. You'd be like, oh, okay, I got you, Brax. And say, oh, this is what you did. Okay, I got you. I know what you did. And when you see that, damn, the colors even match. That's crazy. And I don't got my phone.
Did you ever go to the hobby store? The one that no. I said I was gonna say the one that Lawnside, New Jersey.
I have not.
Oh, it's actually really good. They have
yeah?
diorama pieces.
Oh, okay, cool.
LED stuff.
I didn't know there were
Okay.
any other hobby stores.
Well, see, I'm from Maryland, so the only reason I come up here is to come here. So,
To the Gundam Kitchen?
hell yeah, to the Gundam Kitchen.
Got him.
Got him.
Waiting on me.
All right. So what are we doing here? What we got going?
Go away.
Okay.
All right. So he threw out the Triforces of Power. He wasn't feeling
No,
Triforces.
just not right now.
Just not right now.
Whole photo
okay.
shoot later.
Whole photo shoot later. Pictures will be on Instagram. What are you thinking? What do you got?
Right now, I'm going with this background stuff to kind
Okay.
of give us an idea on layers.
On layering. Layers are important. Layers of detail, layers of subject. So if you have something in front of your subject, it may be out of focus, but it lends itself to the composition.
Right? So we're going to do this. And I know we got another bunch of...
This little car here.
You got cars, a couple cars,
yeah.
another building, got a gas station? Word. All right. What are those, micro machines? Haven't seen those in a minute.
Yeah. See that? Give a little bit of explosion kind of look that you got going there. You know? And then, believe it or not, for the pictures, it's kind of crazy. Because you'll see. You'll see. It may look like a mess now, but once you see them in the pictures, and you see layer on layer on layer,
Yeah.
you'll be like, wow, this is crazy.
Now, and what you can do to really kind of up the composition value is maybe shoot from this angle coming into the Jesta.
That's right, exactly.
You know, the Jesta's looking out that way, so that's already starting to tell somewhat of a story. What's the Jesta looking at? We don't know yet. But if you shoot this way, maybe get a little corner of this building here, maybe a hint of the cars back there, and see the Jesta looking that way, compositionally, super interesting. It tells a story. That's essentially what you're trying to do, is tell a story. So
Look for on that GBWC stuff too.
yeah, right, that's what
They
they...
want to know the story.
Definitely what they look for at GBWC. If you can tell a story, yeah, even better. So we got you got a picture coming? Yeah. Are we taking a picture? All right, here we go. Oh, look at that, yeah. You catching the...
Somebody missed the bus and they drove to school in their mobile suit?
Nice.
Absolutely.
All right, so look at him. He's catching...
I mean, civilians could have mobile suits.
So he's catching the corner of this white building.
See, trying to get the lower the camera for
Yeah,
the better. I
yeah.
love my lower shots.
And this looks like... what he's trying to achieve is actually what it would look like to a person on the street,
Right.
so to speak. Moving that around.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get the angle right.
Yeah.
I like one.
Yeah, because
simulating kind of a street set here.
Yeah, this like post-apocalyptic kind of thing we got going on here, but it's all in layers. Man.
Yeah.
Everything is about these layers. The layers are the important part.
Yeah.
So let me bring that light in.
And for terminology, layering would be your foreground, your subject, and your background. So we've this foreground in this particular setting would be this nice white building. Subject would be the Jesta, obviously. Background would be the red building and the cars.
Give me some. Give me some. Come on, work with me, mother.
Whoop. Shut your mouth.
Here we go.
All right, we're getting there. It's all about balancing the shot, everybody.
Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly what I'm doing right now. Trying to balance. I need open space and negative space all to take up. Okay. Okay.
All right, so for everybody at home, make sure you keep tuning in because we're going to cover post-processing here in a minute. We're going to show you Snapseed. We're going to go through Lightroom a little bit, show you how to really make things pop. Oh, he's got a little stand here.
Actually, the picture I took for the Ozzy was actually pretty sick too.
That was awesome.
Everybody loved that
Yeah.
one, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
gave that the sand background.
Yeah, right?
Because it went with the sand.
If you're missing that, check out Gundamnerd on Instagram. He took a really, really nice picture of the Ozymandias. All set it out and everything. Really, really nice. Gundam Jesus in the house.
Is that Jesus? Praise the Lord! Praise the Lord! See, I want to try to capture the big building and the steps and everything.
Yeah.
And then still trying to get it. So
Shoot it landscape. Yeah, there you go. And what I would say is get closer to this so it's a little bit out of focus. Yeah, there you go.
to be, yeah, so I can, but that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That, and then I can crop the rest
Yep.
of it. See, you got to know what you're going to crop too, you know? There we go. Let me get a little bit higher than this building. I forgot we was live. I'm live so much I be forgetting I'm live. I'm not lying.
And if you guys aren't following Brax on Instagram, I highly recommend it because when he does go live, they're highly entertaining.
It's a little bit more than live, people.
It's real. It's not live. It's real.
Hey.
All right, let's see. What does it look like? What's it look like? We got it?
Okay, let me show
What
you
should it look
looks
like? Let's
on
see what it
camera.
looks like.
Oops, sorry about that.
Oh yeah. Ooh. Oh yeah. That looks nice. All right, show the people at home. 'Cause that's a good one.
See if you can see it. Boom. Okay, screen is up. Tell me what I gotta do. Can you see it?
Yep.
Believe it or not, it's a slight difference in sharpness right here because it's layers. So the only thing I focused on was what was in the middle, and then everything else became blurry. You know, it's that whole aperture effect.
It was interesting. You used interesting perspective because you have a 1/100 building and a 1/144th building there.
Right.
But you're forcing perspective by bringing.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's another technique. It's called forced perspective. If you guys have seen the Lord of the Rings movies,
And,
that was
scale
used.
photography. Too.
Yeah.
That's all under the
yeah.
scale photography umbrella.
Yeah.
How you can see somebody and they standing in front of the Eiffel Tower, but they're
Right.
doing like this.
Yeah.
And then the Eiffel Tower is this
Yeah.
big just because it's black background. Yeah, that's called playing with the scales.
Yeah. Or you've seen the cliche Tower of Pisa and people are trying to push it back up.
Yeah.
So, that's cliche, but that's forced perspective. Lord of the Rings implied that very, very liberally with the hobbits and stuff like that in terms of perspective of the other actors because they're all basically the same height. So forced perspective is an interesting technique as well.
You know, it took the hobbits 3 hours to get their feet on every day.
Things you learn on a live stream, folks.
And you know that where they filmed that in New Zealand, they couldn't even go back for part 2 because the whole scenery changed up so much that they couldn't even find the original spots where they filmed. Isn't that crazy? Just saying, geek stuff, nerd stuff.
Trivia with Brax. Look for it on YouTube. All right,
You know
so
that 88 pumps will give you a boy? All right, go, sorry, let's go. Let's go. It's facts.
as we go on in the
exact or
Yeah.
88.
89.
89, you blow the balls off him.
as we go on in the class,
You're done.
it just we're getting wilder and wilder. Thank you for staying with us. If you're still watching, even after 3 hours, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing and following. This will be extremely helpful to your photography game. Let's move into post processing. Now for that, we're going to do some screen shares. I got you with the mirror, the iPhone mirroring, the screen mirroring and everything. So let's talk about that here right quick.
You can't get that hooked up.
The HDMI,
that gonna be something?
I got a long HDMI cord right there. That'll go from my laptop probably over to that thing, over to that
Go from
TV.
your phone?
Over here. Because no, we're gonna mirror the phone, or we're gonna mirror your phone onto the screen.
Oh, awesome. Cool.
All right, folks. So let's get set up here. Bear with us for just a moment.
Just a second, y'all. Let me go on drain the main vein.
Okay. A little longer, a little bit more information than I had wanted to hear, but hey, it's cool. Okay, so let's see here. What we want is we want to get sharing here. I forgot to add the mic.
So we've been without no mic for a while.
Yeah.
Wow. I had no.
As long as 88 Pumps made the tape. That's the highlight.
Yeah, shit happens. Shit happens.
Damn, man, I feel like I'm hearing your hippie voice, bro.
That's what happened when I
It's like fucking yeah, man.
All right.
Shit happens. Oh, I'm not taking. I got my phone screen on. Sorry, buddy. Struggle beats greatness, bro. All right. So where we at now? So we on 5-minute break?
Yeah. No. Whoa, Mike.
I knew that. So the whole time they missed every single joke.
Yeah. Well, you know, shit happens. Sorry, folks in the chat. Forgot to add the mic to that particular screen grab there. So, you know what? Hey, we live and learn. This is the first stream that we've done. So, learning. It's all learning. Sorry about that. My apologies. Let's show you some cool stuff here. I'm gonna show you some Lightroom editing. Just real quick, down and dirty.
You have Apple TV on this?
Nah.
So it just mirrors without.
Yeah, no, it's just the software. All right, so with that being said, let's get into Lightroom here. All right. We're gonna create a new catalog here, folks. We're gonna go desktop, create a new folder.
Say something so wrong. No.
We're just going to name this
Everybody should have won for third try.
Stream Pics.
Jeez. Okay.
I'm the third child, by the way.
All right, so what we're gonna do here, folks, is this is Adobe Lightroom. This is a graphics editing, more of a photo editing, program that I really like to use. This is not the newest version. I have to update this one on my laptop. But what we're gonna do is we're going to file, we're gonna import some photos here. Be good if I was on the right panel. Import. And let's see. All right, so we're just waiting for the previews to come up on these pictures here. And okay, so here are the bottom ones that we want. We're gonna check those, uncheck all, and then just check the ones that we want. And we will import these. All right, so what these are gonna do, these are gonna load into a catalog, basically a folder that Lightroom uses to keep track of the photos and the changes that we make to them. So I pull these in. As you can see here, the first couple of these were used. This was just the 50, and then we've got macro shots here in the later photos, and we'll show you those here in just a minute. All right, so we're going to go over to the develop panel. We're going to do some down and dirty photo editing here, just real quick. We're going to blaze through this and show you. So this is what the 50mm looked like, and it looks pretty good. Let's see. Oh yeah, see, look, it's got nice, crispy looking focus. Everything's super sharp, right where we wanted it. It looks really nice. So that is good. But problem area right here is the curve of the shot here. Now, what we can do is we can simply crop it. And as you can see, there's our grid, our Fibonacci grid, if you will. So what we can do is we could potentially bring that over just to crop out that little bit. But we've got a whole big space up here, right? So what we're gonna do, pull this down just a bit. Now, obviously, this is dead center, and that's fine. You don't have to follow the Fibonacci aesthetic rules too much. This still looks super good because your focal point is right here, which is central, yeah, but along here, you're on a Fibonacci horizontal line. So what we'll do is we'll hit done there. Cool. And then
set up already?
Yeah, the grid. Yep, wow. And the crop. So this looks pretty good. I like this crop. I like how it is framed and everything. Let's do a little work on the exposure and everything. No, this is with the 50.
Oh, I was about to say.
Yeah, this is no. This is yeah. This is with the 50. So what we're gonna do is we're going to pop the. We're going to pop the exposure just by about 0.3 there. Of course, raise the contrast. We're going to bump that to 25 to start with. No, you know what? Let's go 50. See what that looks like. Nope, too much. 25 is definitely dialed in where I want it to be. So the highlights are a little sharp for my taste. So we're going to bring that down by about 15. Pop that in. Looking good. Let's see, clarity. We're gonna go 15 on that just to get those edges a little more crispy, and you can see.
The raw photo?
Yeah, this is raw. This is a raw file.
This the big file we was talking about.
Yeah, this is a raw file. And as you can see right up here, it has the camera information. We're shooting at 1/25th of a second at 5.6 at the 50 millimeter focal length. This is at 3200 ISO. Now, when you zoom in all the way, you can see this grain in here. Not sure if it'll translate over the stream, but it is a little grainy in the dark areas. But in the focal, clear areas, it's pretty good. So I'm not really gonna worry about that too much, especially when you're zoomed out. No big deal. So one of the things that I always like to do is to come down here to the lens corrections and remove any chromatic aberration. Now, what that is it's any highlighting around the edges of kind of green and magenta, maybe some bluish or teal, just from weird lighting being caught by the sensor. So removing chromatic aberration removes any of that weirdness from the image, and then I also like to do a little post vignetting here. So we'll just dump that down. Chromatic aberration. Yep. So we're gonna dump that down to maybe 30. Yeah, and that fills out that corners and everything super nice. By doing this, it puts more emphasis on the image in the middle. So if this is dark, your eye is naturally going to be directed toward the light part. So this right now, I would call a finished edit. This is really good looking. It's got that nice 3/4 overhead angle that I really like. So we're gonna take a look at one of these macro shots and show you how powerful those shots look. All right, so it's loading. Cool, okay, so with this one, I can obviously see some motion blur, and yeah, this is definite blur. Just from hand holding the camera, it's a little...
Is that the sharpest point?
No, I think I focused on the face here, yeah, but see, there's still motion blur. It's moving this way.
That's because you had it in your hand, right?
It's because I was hand holding, yeah. So let's take a look at another one and see if there is any other sharper one. Okay, so this is pretty sharp from what it looks like, at least at that singular point. Yeah, that's crispy right there.
Yeah, you can see lint.
Yeah, but the problem is that here's the focal point, and there's the head, and the head's completely out of focus.
Right.
So let's move on to the next one. This is the importance of having a tripod and catching your focal point and then composing your photo after. So I think this might be the same kind of deal. Yeah, it's not focused. Yeah, this is still out of focus. Okay, cool. So not a big deal. Okay. This one might be a winner. This one might be a winner. I think it is. Look at that. Okay, cool. So this is exactly where we want our focal point to be. This is what I focused in on. This is where I caught the focus at, and then composed the picture after that. So this is at ISO 6400, rather high ISO comparatively to some other shots here. You can see the grain in the dark areas, but when you're zoomed out, it's not too bad. This was shot at f13, so pretty tiny aperture, 50 millimeter at 1/30th of a second. That's a rather slow shutter speed. Now, compositionally, it looks pretty good. This right here is very close to the Fibonacci lines. The head is right on the cusp of being on the intersection and everything. So this I really like compositionally. So what we're going to do kind of the same thing as before. We're going to leave this exposure be because I like where it's at. Let's bump the contrast up just a little bit to give it a little bit more depth and feeling. I like that. It highlights, raises the highlights a little bit, darkens the dark spots. Let's go and do a little bit of clarity. Let's go 15 on that. That highlights the edges just a little slightly, and that's looking really nice and crispy. That's looking pretty good. I'm digging this capture here, and you can see all the crazy detail, the dust and texture from sitting in the case and everything for months on end. Just that's the power of macro. It's super cool. Let's go down here. We're going to, as always, remove chromatic aberrations. That's going to clean up any spectral highlights and things like that. We're going to dump this down. Let's try -30 first. A little too much for my taste there. Let's go -15. Let's go half that and let's see what that looks like. I like that because what it did was it darkened up these two corners here, but still left a nice highlight right in the center for the head, which is the obvious focal point of this particular photo. So nice capture here. I really like it. If I had to do it again, I'd probably up the f-stop a little bit more, so all of this would be in focus. This right here, this front of the chest irks me just a little bit. It's not a deal breaker because the focal point obviously is the head, but overall I think this is a solid capture. Decent little Instagram banger. So we're gonna edit this just a tad bit more off stream. We're going to upload these few pictures to Instagram and Facebook, and so you can see the final product here, and we're gonna have some fun here a little bit later. So let's go ahead and switch up and get back on camera so we can say our goodbyes to everybody, and then we're gonna call this one a stream here, guys.
But did it,
so what's up? What's up?
Can you get any feedback from that? Are you did they actually did the little highlight? I mean, did the little pointers I did it actually come through?
The video, yeah. The video did, yeah.
Mike was gone for a
yeah.
while, huh?
Mike was unfortunately gone, but the video came through, yeah, so they can see visually what which did. So, all right, guys. So we're gonna finish it out here real quick. Brax, you want to come on over? Hey, Iraq, come on over. Say goodbye to the people. All right. So we good, Paulie? We're looking. We're getting there.
Let's get the contrast right. We need to make an Oreo right.
Oreo cookie action.
I don't know what it is.
How we looking?
He's pressing too many buttons. I'm scared.
On that camera, for some reason, like there's a still.
Let's see. Hang on. Let me see. Here. Let me see. Hold on. Okay. Let's. All right. Here. Let me see it. Hold on just a second, folks.
Run the intro.
No, shoot, it's locked for some reason on that image. Oh God. Okay. Fair enough. Let's go. Nope. All right. Well, anyway, folks, we're gonna end the stream. You're not gonna see our faces, but
Not gonna. What happened?
it's for some reason it's locked on an image. It's the camera's streaming software is just locked. So
Can you mirror it again?
no, don't worry about it.
You got me?
No, if you mirror it.
Oh no, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, don't
here.
worry about
I'm
it.
just looking at the computer screen and acting like I'm doing something.
All right.
Okay. So it's
You
not
can mirror
coming
it
through.
and use
Nah.
No, everything I've
All
tried
right.
is not working.
So-
Not even a mirroring.
Not here.
Okay, I'm
Let's-
off.
Thanks.
We're good. All right, guys. So hopefully you guys have learned something. Hopefully we didn't droll on for too long. But we're gonna call it quits. So Brax, where can people find you?
They can find me on Instagram at Brax. They can find me on Instagram at Gundamnerd and on Instagram at Gundamnerd.
Cool. And you can see all the photos that we've taken on Brax's Instagram as well. And Ira, where are we at today?
We're at the Gundam Kitchen, aka Millennium Hobbies, the Gundam Kitchen. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, World Wide Web, the Gundam Kitchen. Check us out, come through, and definitely check out the Gundam Kitchen After Dark coming this Thursday.
Awesome.
I'll bring the whiskey.
All right, guys. So as for me, Tim, the one and only Child of Mecha, childofmecha.com. Make sure you go there. Make sure you sign up and enter the giveaway contest because we only got a few more days on that. So we'll be announcing the winner to that here in the next few days. So go enter and win you some prizes. All right. So for all of us here at the Gundam Kitchen, we will see you later. Thanks for joining.